Discord.
Okay, we should be live now. Let me post up a link. Go over all this. If you guys want to shill in between, I guess. Broku's got a much bigger channel. Sammy, they will hear Sammy, but they won't understand unless he talks about Vic Mignogna. So.
Oh. Dude, me die.
Let me post it up. Anybody already present? Just give it a moment. We're just getting everything started. Tell me if you guys are.
You already started?
Yeah, I started it. Pay attention.
Oh fuck!
I'm
You said you're gonna send the link.
I know I'm posting on Twitter. I was gonna say, like, you know, if anybody can't hear you in the stream, then just say so. My hopes for this is that it starts out really civil and then it just like completely erodes into like swears and like cursing each other for life and shit.
Nah, I don't.
You should have changed your featured video as well, like on your homepage.
I'll figure that out. I don't fuck with stuff as you do on your channel. I just like post shit and then I'm like, hey, watch the video. I do a poll every week. Later, guys. Let me see.
Here, I'll post it to Dynamic.
Let's see.
Jesus.
I know my keyboard. Let me mute really quick while I'm typing.
Keyboard magic.
Alright, posted it on Twitter. If you guys want to go give that yeah, let me post it. I'm going to post it in that one chat, and then I'll post it where I can as well. And then we'll hopefully get this all up and running. Anybody want to drop any questions in the chat before we start it? Are we gonna? Is there any accents going? Is anyone gonna, you know, play like a good classic lawyer? I was thinking about being some foghorn leghorn Southern lawyer and just start stuttering over my words. And that'd be a good idea. So I do declare this William Vangeance guy has committed many plethora of crimes against the Clover Kingdom, and he needs to be brought to justice. That needs to be a character. They need some Southern lawyer in the series. I think it's required. All right, so
That'd be funny.
It'd be beautiful. It'd be so good. Okay, so as the layout for all this, we have. I mean, anybody already knows this, that's frequent to my channel, but also guest starring. We have Broku no Hero, SGSami, and Quancredible coming in for this, and. As we've gone a little bit over the stream, like the plan earlier this week, that we were going to go over the actions and decisions of the captain of the Golden Dawn, William Vangeance, throughout the series, and all the events that led up into the pretty much now over Elf Resurrection arc, and go over pretty much whether or not people find him innocent or guilty. We have 2 for 2. Broku and I both think that he is guilty of all these crimes, where Sammy and Quan both think he's innocent and shouldn't be charged with his actions. So, I think, what should we kind of start out? Just kind of like the general layout before we get to certain sides and say, you know, what exactly your reasoning is for your side and decision on this matter. What do you guys think? Somebody jump in. I can't talk the entire time. I mean, I could, but then there'd be like, why bring in guests? I'm just gonna rant on.
Yeah, I'm still reposting the stream. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted.
Sammy.
Or are we gonna talk about like, guilty or justified for his actions as well.
Yeah, it's just like kind of go over, you know, as long as we got to look into his logic. I think one thing that we do need to just mention before going into this, I mean, just because some people think he's guilty and he should be punished for all these things doesn't mean he's a bad character. And I don't think anyone hates him as a character in the series. It's just like, no, the dude fucked up and he should be, at least on the side that are against him, should be charged with it. It doesn't mean like the writing piece around it wasn't bad. It's just like, no, we're talking about in verse. Like if you were in the series, you'd be like, yeah, some, you know, decision on this guy from the writing standpoint. It's like, well, this was all supposed to happen. This is all set up, so you know. Sammy, someone's telling you to make your bed. Do you not make your bed? Is this a new inside joke that's happened?
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
Damn, Sammy, you live in a storage unit where you don't even make your bed.
We don't have a bed.
Vicious.
It's just fake behind me.
I'm appalled by all this. I'm appalled by all this. But
No,
yeah,
I definitely agree. I don't think anyone hates him.
yeah, I think people it's more of like a decision thing. Like, you know, you hate a character purely from the standpoint in the series, but it's like, yeah, that doesn't make him a bad character in writing and whatnot. Yeah, not in terms of writing. Yeah, he's got a really cool design. He's got that Griffith tribute theme to him. He's got cool magic. He's got a cool squad. It's just some of his yes. Sammy, Jared Punch says you're no, Sammy's been a meme for a while. It's been a hot minute.
Sadly.
But
it's been a while. Oh wait, hang on, I know where. Share this.
You know, who wants to go first on all this?
All right, how do we do this? We go through.
The defendants
us.
should go first.
Yeah, that's true.
No, wait, No wait, hang on. The guys that make the allegations should go first.
Oh my god! I should have done research on like how actual court works and like who goes.
Yeah, I think the guys
who goes
that make allegations
first
go
in
first.
Court.
I think Sammy might be right on that one. Actually, like I'm not really versed in.
Well,
but yeah.
Broku, you are the largest channel here. If you would like to take the stage first, you know, flex on everyone. The Broku.
All right. Okay, so William had knowledge of the terrorist organization, the Midnight Sun, and he knew this knowledge for 6 years and completely withheld it from the kingdom, even though he was a captain of a squad. So he needs to like tell everybody if he has information, and he completely held it. Now, of course, he did it because his, I guess, equivalent of a twin brother was inside of him, Patri. And what else did he do? He led Patri through the security of the kingdom to go see Julius so they could even fight. So people say that all William did was lead Patri to just kind of let him settle it through, but technically William did lead Patri through security to make it easier for Patri to get to Julius in the first place. William likely also was the cause of Fagolion losing his arm and nearly dying, because when Fagolion wakes up, he immediately thinks of William in the Eye of the Midnight Sun garb.
This is true.
So, basically betrayed a fellow captain, a peer, and caused the forced possession of his entire squad, forcing his entire squad to see themselves basically go throughout the kingdom, wreaking havoc and killing people. So that's a lot of bad things he did, and I'm sure there's even more too.
I think
that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I've seen a lot of people kind of go over. It's like the idea that, you know, him having that close affection for, you know, Patri, and it's always funny because I'm hearing everybody else say names, and I never get names probably pronounced properly. I just pick a name, and unless I get it, I've always said Patri, and it's like I've gotten so many corrections of people in my videos saying it's Nozel because I've said nozzle for like 4 years. I can't help it. It's like those 4 siblings. You have Noel, which is like a normal name, and then it's Nebra, but it's like, okay, a made-up name. Then you have Solid, who's just like, okay, a state of matter, and then you have Nozzle. That's just, I'm thinking like, oh, like kind of, you know, Mercury, it's like a liquid water, you know, his parents. Oh, like Nozzle, like water comes out of a faucet. And then apparently it's Nozel. But there's no marks over the O, so I've just been like, I don't know if there's a fancy pronunciation of it. But, yeah, I've seen...
Use Google.
I mean, Google doesn't know about fictional names from a series of a name somebody just made up. Is there ever been a character named Nozel or in any other series? I feel like that was just a Tabata original.
Oh.
I have to look into it. There's gonna be like one guy back in the 13th century in like Denmark. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people going over that. It's like because he was so close to Patri or Patri, whatever you prefer. That's kind of like what their kind of reasoning is. What do you think, Sammy or Quancredible? We'll swap. We'll go each. We'll go defendant, prosecutor,
We'll
and
go
then
defendant next.
yeah. What do you think? Because that's a point I've seen people toss around a lot. Like, do you guys go in on that? Like, it's not even like his.
Well, like, see,
yeah. Go ahead.
I would say so. My thing with that, like saying that he withheld information, is that like he also had a side of information that the rest of the captains didn't have, like knowing what Patri knew. So obviously through the dreams and stuff, he saw the humans literally massacre all of the elves. So the current Clover Kingdom that he knows, he was abused through his entire life, and no one really liked him because of how his face looked. So he firsthand knew of the discrimination in the kingdom, and he knows what Patri knew of what happened back then. So with those two things combined, he doesn't really he has no reason to think that this nation is just to begin with. So why would you bring problems to a seemingly corrupt nation as is? Like that's my question for an answer. Like why would you try to get help from something that you know to be crooked?
Well, the kind of like I kind of understand a lot of that kind of like personal logic. You got a dude who's been pretty shunned his whole life. He's gotten discriminated against from his scars. These people haven't been too kind to him. Well, the thing about that I've always kind of like looked at, it's like, yeah, if you kind of like look at it from that perspective, it's like, of course he's gonna be leaning towards the person who's been nicer to him. But how does he know? Like, how did he not know that? Like, one that Patri was maybe just a mind in his head. Like, he wasn't crazy if he was being manipulated. Like, there are people with memory manipulation abilities. Like Mark's, like, is it Mark's? Mark's can straight like mess with people's minds. It's like, how does he not? How does he know that? Like, also, how does he know if he's being told the truth or not? And I think like the whole idea of like, because some people were mean to him doesn't mean that.
Shares memories.
Yeah, but he doesn't know if those are legit. You can manipulate people's minds. They have magic that does that.
But he has no reason to think that he would do that, though.
Yeah, but why would he have reason to think like this guy that apparently talks to you in your head is telling you the truth? Like, this could just be a guy who, like, every day somebody sneaks into his room and, like, does memory manipulation stuff on him to make him put in this. It kind of like, I feel like if you had this, unless you had concrete proof of some kind, you'd probably like be like, am I crazy or something? Should I bring this up? Is this a concern? But at the same time, of course there's going to be jerks, like, and stuff, the people that were, discriminating against the scars, but he already knows there's tons of good people. Like, Julius is just straight up one of the nicest guys, like, in the whole kingdom. Like, even after all that, he blamed himself for William's decisions, for not being a good enough leader. Like, it's kind of crazy to think, like, well, these guys are shitty, so, like, all humans must be shitty. It's like, no, there's shitty people, but there's also super good people.
I mean, it's almost like a personal lesson that I feel like people have to like get on their own. Because like from William's perspective, Julius was like more or less the only person or the first kind of person outside of Patri that really took an interest in him, like him as a person, not for his magic or anything along those lines. So it's like, I mean, and granted, once he starts to see like the actual effects of Patri in the actual world, then I mean, at that point, I feel like he would know that he isn't crazy. Like if he, like as soon as
I'm talking about, I don't know, I mean, like, at the start, like, I feel like early on, at least, obviously, like, later on, when, the dude switches bodies with him, or switches place and does shit, he'd probably be like, oh, maybe this is what. Well, like, at the very beginning, you'd probably just think you're fucking crazy.
If you, like, sense something that's been a part of you, I like, imagine that you would feel like it was, like, it's like if you feel that something is a part of you your entire life, then I wouldn't really question that once it actually shows up in the real world. So like I definitely he might have thought he was going crazy in the beginning, but once Patri finally appeared, it probably all made sense.
That makes me wonder if he could like feel the dude's magic in his body or something. Maybe that's how he figured it out. I don't know. I mean, that would make sense. Magic sensing and all.
I think he said something like where he had always sensed them inside of him. But
did he? I'd have to go back. That's fair.
Started sensing him.
Okay, that's fair enough. I remember him. I don't remember him saying that as magic. I remember him saying like he'd start talking to him. But yeah,
this is what he says on chapter 166. As far back as I can remember, I felt it. Somebody else sleeping inside of me.
Okay. Oh, so that was even before that. I don't remember.
So basically, ever since he could remember, he felt. Yeah.
I mean, so I get.
Basically, he had like a sleeping imaginary friend for a lot of his life.
I've always understood, like, from his perspective, why he would be like, well, this guy's my friend. I want to, be on his side. But at the same time, he's part of the Magic Knights, and they're like they're not even like, you just throw a rock in another series. It's like, fucking, it's something like Fairy Tale or something, where it's like, hey, they're guilds, but they're independent. The Magic Knights are their country's military. Like, they're straight military. And, I mean, even, like, besides the point that him and Patri are friends, it's like, you have a sworn duty to, like, the kingdom, the people, the king, your other Magic Knights. And it's still like, yeah, he's your friend, but he plans on killing all of them. And...
Now, taking over, like, bouncing from what Quancredible said... Am I pronouncing your name right? Quancredible?
Yeah, if you just want to call me Quan, that's like way shorter.
Yeah. Quan. Bouncing from what Quan said, like if you look at his backstory, William was born as a bastard of a noble, and he was abused his entire life until the noble dies, and then William becomes the new noble heir. But because of his mark, he was abused his entire life. And he starts dreaming of Patri at the age of 9, and he only meets William at 13. So, by the time he met William, he's already been dreaming of Patri's memories, Patri's like abuse, death, like massacre at the wedding. He's already dreamed that for like 4 years. And then after meeting, I'm sorry, I'm bad with maths. Yeah, 4 years, 9 to 13. And then Patri awakens one at 16, so like a couple of years after that. So. He's already been dreaming of Patri for 4 years before he met Julius.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I said, I agree, like, from his perspective.
And bouncing it, I think everyone in the chat probably most likely already watches or reads Attack on Titan. And if you watch the anime, you might know of Zeke. Children can be easily swayed, even, like, parents.
Like, I don't think anyone's arguing, like, it doesn't make sense from his perspective. Like, he made friends with somebody, he was abused. Like, obviously, he's going to build emotional attachment. Like, would you agree at least that, Broku? Like, that's logical. Like, they became very close because of it.
So he already hates humans for abusing him, and then he sees humans massacring his entire race.
I mean, that's true, but you got to keep in mind, like, he joined up with the Magic Knights. He had the sworn allegiance, because he's a captain. He's not just some guy. He's, like, a high-ranking person in their government. And like, we haven't seen like political people. I mean, he's got to be at least like pretty high up there.
When he first joined, though, even him initially joining the Magic Knights, he was never joining the Magic Knights to be a part of this like grand thing. He was joining them for Julius, not for the Clover Kingdom.
Yeah, but we still know he swore allegiance to them. Like he put it on that whole layout.
If anything, I think he joined to directly create the Golden Dawn, which consists of an entire elf.
What do you think, Broku?
All of them are elves.
Well, he couldn't have done that yet because he was already a knight before Patri even woke up. So he was a knight at 16. Then Patri wakes up, and then basically it says that it took them forever to even develop a relationship. And based on what I've looked into, it probably took them basically 4 years to even develop a relationship because Patri wakes up when William's 16, and the Eye of the Midnight Sun is created when William is 20. So that makes me think it might have taken them 4 years to even develop an actual relationship with each other.
Yeah, to even get close enough for
by that time.
I mean, you can kind of
by that time William was like by far an established knight.
I mean, yeah, you can kind of look at it. Because, like I said, you got to keep in mind they're not just like a rag group of people. They're military. This is like somebody like befriending like a terrorist and being like, hey man, I understand that you got screwed over, so let me help you, and then let's see what goes on. Like, he committed high treason. Like,
it was
but straight
it
up.
was on the grounds it was on the grounds of that country massacred an entire race of people to get to where they are now.
Yeah,
So it's not like
in the past, but that doesn't mean they kill the current people.
But they
Also,
literally stole everything from that race, though.
The Eye of the Midnight Sun pretty much knows it was just the royals, which is why like
that
Beto
is also true, yeah.
and Raya said, "Oh, you stole our mana," so they know it was just the royals. But Patri is convincing William that all the commoners and peasants and stuff should still suffer for what the royals did 500 years ago. Which I would say that Julius's plan is much more noble of trying to unite everybody, whereas Patri wants to kill all the humans. Or technically, none of these humans have
None
anything
of them,
to do with what
none of them
happened
were
500 years
involved.
ago.
It was straight like just
even then,
genocide.
The commoners and peasants literally had nothing to do with it, even back then. So now he still wants to kill these innocent people. So I'd say that Julius's plan, while probably a bit harder, was still much more noble, and it was working. Julius said it was working slowly, and yet William still took the easy way out. Just have, well, I guess he didn't. He helped Patri more than William, or helped Patri more than Julius. It seems like.
I mean, yeah,
my thing, I feel like he was in the middle. Like, I don't really feel like he swayed one side. I don't think he helped one side more than the other one.
Well, yeah, he was at that point. He's like, I'm gonna let you guys like pretty much make the decision. But I mean, if he was just some dude, it'd be kind of different. But he's already part of the Magic Knights. He has a sworn duty to protect and serve and do his part. And he broke that, and then put everyone in danger. Almost got their king killed. From at least what they saw, almost got Julius killed if Julius's time manipulation didn't kick in and revert him back. So like he set up, and we don't even know how many people died like in that whole thing, like how much damage the kingdom's done. They also now have a huge security problem because, as far as we know, the entire Golden Dawn was in on it. They had some form of tie-in to all this. They don't know who to trust now. Like who that turned into an elf knew, who didn't, who was willing to backstab the rest of the kingdom. Like there's definitely like a means of now broken trust. Like I said, high treason like alone, like practically any country, high treason is enough for like raw execution despite anything else involved. Like that's like definitely, especially in a time of war, like when they got terrorists running around. They got other countries like looking for any chance to attack the Clover Kingdom, and William just completely like is willing. He was willing to risk everything. I think that's one of the worst parts, is because it wasn't like, oh yeah, like it might just be they take control and then they kick everyone out. They were going to kill everyone, and he was willing to risk every single person, innocent people especially, dying because
they also technically assassinated one of the Magic Knight captains.
Yeah, they tried to kill Fuego Leon. He almost died. He was in a coma for, or what was it, like 120 chapters of the series? He just laying in bed with no arm.
Yeah, he's been coma for like what, probably like 3-4 months, maybe.
I mean, yeah, but he almost died.
I think it was longer because they went to the seabed, and then there was the Witch's Forest, and then was the capital.
Well, it was a year, wasn't it? Like I can't remember if it was 6 months to a year at the right before the Royal Magic Knight exam. Yeah. Because they mentioned like how much they did, and that happened shortly into it because the dungeon arc was like their first like big mission.
Hasn't like in the actual series hasn't it only been like 6 months or something, like since Asta first joined?
I think it's been over. I'll go check it. I think I'm gonna go check right now. I'm pretty sure it was either 6 months or a year because they noted Asta and noticed like we've accomplished so much in this amount of time. Hold on, I found the chapter.
I believe it was 6 months.
106. Yeah, it's one of the two. I'm just pulling it up. Let me see.
Yeah, on a side question, while he notices that, how long has it been since they attacked the palette, like the Eye of the Midnight Sun space? Like, how long has it been, day-wise?
Wasn't it 3 days? Didn't they say it 3 days or something?
It kind of. I don't know. I've seen some people say it's been 3 days. But also the manga kind of goes in different timelines, so that it might have only really been 1 day.
Yeah, okay. It has been from the right before the Magic Knight exams. It was half a year, and then I think it was a month between the Royal Magic Night exams and the Elf Resurrection arc. I think it was like a month in between. Let me see.
Yeah, because they did training in that 1 month to get stronger.
Let me see. Yeah, I think it was a month, and Asta's like moped the whole time. Might have been a couple days. I don't remember. Either way, I mean, it's still a considerable amount of time. This dude was in a coma, and they weren't sure if he was ever going to wake up. He almost died.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that was an assassination attempt. Like, he shouldn't have. Like, they didn't expect him to survive.
Yeah, they tried to straight murder him.
Like, if they wanted to kill him, I feel like with who was there and like who they have available, then they would have killed him, though.
Not only that, to be honest, what I noted to Raxus, they also tried to assassinate Yami because William had Yami in the the Golden Dawn base, knowing that everyone in there was about to turn into an elf.
One thing especially is think about like Augustus. He was ready to execute Austin, for being rude to him. And because of William's actions, like, he almost got straight killed by Ratri. Like, he almost died. If it wasn't for Yami, Finral, and Jack showing up, he would be dead right now. And that would have been a loss to, like, their straight king on top of potential, like, at least in the setting, losing Wizard King and King at the same time. And, like, the king is still the most, like, high up that you gotta protect. Huh?
He's an actual jerk, though. So, like,
I mean, he's a jerk. He's a jerk, but he's not evil. Like, even during the Magic Night exams, when Langris was going to kill Finral, like, he was freaking out because he did this. He's like, "This is not supposed to be killing time. It's supposed to be a fun tournament." Like, he's not a bad guy.
Against commoners and peasants.
I mean, yeah, he's a dick, but he's not evil. He's just like an asshole. But he's not. He doesn't need to die. He's just a jerk.
Oh no, I definitely don't think he needs to die, but I don't really think he needs to be king either. Though he is exactly what like Patri and them I feel like are like talking about.
I mean, he never hurt anybody, at least that we know of right now. I mean, yeah, but like
to kill some people for being rude, I'm pretty sure he has the capacity. Who knows? He's
maybe that might, as far as we know, that could have been the pettiest thing he's tried to do. I mean, like I said, the part with Langris, like when Langris almost died and he was like freaking out. Like at least he has at least some level of concern for his people. He's not like
for other noblemen.
I think he's concerned for nobles.
I mean, that's still he's still got some. I mean, that's still at least something. He's not evil. Like, I mean, even if he was a dick, unless he was at a point where it's like he needs to get assassinated like a bad guy, and be like, well, you still have your duty to protect the king. So why you can't get your king killed and be like, a knight especially. You're not just a dude, you're a knight. Like that's like huge honor bound shit.
He probably felt like that his entire kingdom needed a huge change or like a reform. It needed to be different.
Well, that's like what is that? A rebellion? That's like what is this? Not treason. Isn't there like another word for that? Was that like a coup? Like that's even worse. That's even worse. Just like, well, yeah, I thought it was bad, so I wanted to assassinate. I want to get everyone in power assassinated and replaced. It's like, yeah, dude, that's pretty horrible. I mean, and
the Wizard King.
Yeah, I mean, like even like kids and stuff, like all the kids at the church, anybody that we've seen so far, anybody that they could have reached out to, they were planning on killing. So it's not like hey, we're gonna take out the bad guys. Well, they were.
But then we also can't.
They wanted straight genocide.
Like, another thing, I don't really know if he knew the extent of how far Patri was willing to go.
I mean, if he knew into his plan what he was trying to do, I feel like because he knew that he was going to try and kill Julius and bring back the elves. Like, I feel like what logic would be like? Well, these guys hate humans for this event that happened, so they're gonna be resurrected and want to take back the country. I'd be like. Yeah, they're probably going to go crazy. And they already tried to kill people. I mean, I'm in that song when Raditz showed up, he was ready just to, like, straight kill a little girl just for being a member of the Clover Kingdom. They're pretty...
of, like, a different case.
I mean, it's still on their side. These are the people that they're repping. And the elves were just as bad. I mean, what was the one with the plant magic that Austin teamed up to fight? Like, he was straight ready to... He poisoned the entire church, actually, including children.
Well, if you think about it, they were all like under influence of that forbidden magic. Yeah. They were like slightly more eviler than they would have normally been.
I mean, yeah, they're more malefic.
It's not how they were. It's
Well,
like
and
they're
in defense
They
of
were a
them,
bit more
I mean,
malevolent,
the
but still, like, he knew
humans
what they
did
were doing.
slaughter children elves.
I mean, not the humans there. I mean, people that passed, but it was royals specifically. Like, it wasn't just random guys. Because they were supposed to be, yeah, they were going to have a treaty until the royal people showed up and fucked them all over.
And that's like another thing that like I noticed. It seems like it was more directed towards the nobles and not the royals. Because you think about it, none of the royals, like out of the Vermilion or like Silvas or even the Clover family, turned into elves. It was all the nobles.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They hated them. They didn't want it. They didn't want any of those bodies in their crew. They wanted to get rid of them.
They wanted to kill them with their own hands.
You
They're
remember
all
when
bloodthirsty.
when the Compass Girl just walked in and started slaughtering even the men?
Well, yeah. What was it? Nebro was just like laying down, and she just starts killing people. I think Patri was like he tried to kill, and he tried to kill that girl that Finral was close to.
And he's like, "Please don't kill me." And then the Compass Girl kills the maid, and then kills the noble.
Yeah, like I don't feel like he was willing to go that far, and he didn't have some semblance of what was going to happen. Like, he knew that there was going to be a massacre. He knew that they were out for blood.
Like, I definitely think he knew that there was going to be some death, but I don't think he knew to the extent that they were going to be murdering, like...
In his defense, though, once the spell activated, it wasn't William permanently locked out. So, I think when he gave it to the Wizard King to win, if Wizard King would have won, obviously he would have might have resisted Patri. But if Patri wins, he's gonna be locked inside forever anyway. So, he gave it to Patri.
I mean, he knew like how Patri fought. He knew about the sealing magic. He had this big stockade of magic already. And I mean, and because William knows Julius so much, that's probably directly where Patri found out about his weakness, that he would always sacrifice himself to protect his people. So,
like, as we've seen even in the anime, that was more so like they just like Patri kind of stumbled upon that while they were fighting. Like, it's not like Patri knew, because if he knew Julius would always protect his people, he wouldn't have tried to fight him normally. He would have just went for the people initially.
I mean, it was his ace in the hole. He knew that, like, no matter what, that would work.
Either way, I think that was a bluff. Like, some of the people Patri was about to execute were going to be turning to elves.
I mean, he could find more body. That was not a bluff. He just dropped a bunch of swords going.
It was literally about executing actual elves.
He doesn't. Their souls. They'll just find new bodies. They'll find because they had Sally.
He was always unwilling to hurt.
Sally could have just made him new bodies.
He was always unwilling. But like, Patri had never actually hurt anybody who had the actual like elf body. Like, if you think about Ghost,
remember?
He didn't hurt him, and he had the opportunity to.
Yeah, but he saw killing Julius as, you know, the obstacle they needed to overcome to do anything. He didn't want to hurt him, but like he was definitely willing to go to the full extent to kill Julius. He was 100% on board for that. Like, I feel like, because he got like an inch away from Julius's face. Like, he probably knew that he was going to stop him. I mean, I think if he knew that he was going to do it still, but that was what he was exploiting. He knew that Julius, above all else, would put his life above other people's. And it's like...
let's say for a second Julius didn't activate that spell. You think Patri would have gone with it and just killed the entire kingdom?
I mean, yeah, I think he would have, because in his mind, he used that entire moment where Julius was casting the spell to move in and attack him. I doubt that he was thinking, like, well, if he doesn't go for it last second, I'm going to stop the spell. I mean, how would he stop his own spell, like, last second after he launches, like, a giant, like, 50 mile wide of probably tens to hundreds of thousands of swords going at light speed. And that was his all-out attack. Like, where did he get the power in order to prevent that after that point? What do you think, Broku?
I don't think it was a bluff. I mean, it's just kind of like, you know, he has this goal of destroying the humans and bringing back the elves. And if he fails here, he doesn't get any of that. So this spell is like, if Julius doesn't counter it, then almost the entirety of the Clover Kingdom will be wiped out. If he does counter it, then I can probably continue with my plans, because Julius will not have any more magic or time left. So it's like either way he wins in some sort of a way. Like, if Julius doesn't counter it, almost the entirety of the Clover Kingdom's killed, which is part of his goal anyways. So,
but
I don't think
elf friends dies as well.
Oh no, their souls can just find new bodies. You just get him a new body
because
Sally.
But that kind of goes against like how Patri is, though.
I mean, in terms of general, but I feel like if it came down to making it the inconvenience of them having to find new bodies versus the one thing they needed to overcome in order to do their old plan. But I think he knew that Julius was going to do it. I think he counted on it, like counted on him to do it. But even if he didn't,
I definitely think he counted.
Even if he didn't, like then everyone's dead. He was willing to take the risk. He was willing to take that risk of it's like Broku was saying. Like what Broku was saying. It's either you die as I predicted because you're going to protect everyone, or you don't protect everyone. And even if you attack me and win here, then your whole kingdom's dead, and I get my revenge. And then literally they could have just became souls again and started probably it all over again.
I definitely do agree with you that Patri wanted him to protect everybody. I just don't think that any of that information came from William. Like I feel like he figured that out during the fight when Julius was talking about him being.
Well, if William has some of Patri's memories, I imagine Patri has some of Julius's. It's probably some of William's. So like I just think that's one thing he would pick up. That's probably where he got that whole aspect of like he knows Julius because William and Julius were so close. He knows his biggest weakness.
I believe that Patri also understood how Julius's time magic exactly worked too, so he probably got that information from William.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't know because he had no clue about his like grimoire or anything. He didn't
know about his grimoire.
He didn't know deep specifics. He did. I don't think he knew deep specifics. Like there's a lot of characters like a lot of them hang out and they don't know the full extent of what each other's magic is.
What I'm wondering about his grimoire. Like they were flying around in that battle. Did at no point was he like, "Hey, what is that giant book in the sky?"
I mean, they were fighting at such high speeds. I doubt he was like looking around at the scenery and being like, "Hey, look at this thing."
Taking in all.
He's just like
giant thing in the sky would be in your.
I mean, that's like if you imagine like that whole scene. It's like after he drops his sword, it's like while he's stabbing Julius, he's like, "Hey, look, it's Rebecca. I remember that from the arc where I showed up in first." Oh, cool! Easter eggs and little side arts. Like no, there's no way he was gonna be looking like I need to find his grimoire because there's no reason to look for his grimoire because it's not like destroying their grimoire does anything. It'll just regrow. It'll just reform out of mana. So I mean because with the other characters, the only ones that seem to know what the others' spells are if they're like fight each other like Jack and Yami, but you could have them like never know anything about them and just know the basic like oh yeah I heard this is this guy's magic. Like I know this thing for hanging out with him. You'd have to be direct on the battlefield to like all the time see the full extent.
He worked directly under Julius, like he was a like subordinate. So like I mean I feel like members of a squad have an idea of how their captain's magic should work.
Somewhat, but it's not like you see him go all out all the time.
He would at least know that he would at least know how his time magic works to an extent, or at least know that his grimoire is like.
Well, he had somewhat a knowledge. That's why he said that he felt like he was destined to fight him because it was light magic against time magic.
He had also had a small exchange with him already, though.
Yeah,
so he kind of had that.
He knew somewhat about him beforehand, but it's not like he knew everything about him.
The way that Patri words, like when he's talking to Julius, it does seem like he knows information about Julius's time magic.
Yeah, because
he's like. By accelerating time for the mana around him, he can read the flow of the mana of the future. He's able to sense the very near future and anticipate attacks.
Yeah, because
it seems like that'd be information he got from William.
Because if William knows stuff from Patri's memory, it's like it just seems logical. It goes both ways, and he would know stuff from his. Makes sense. Like, oh yeah, he knows about this guy's time magic. That's one of the things that makes him so OP. He knows about his personality. He doesn't know the full extent. Like we already saw. The first time Julius really got up, he doesn't need his grimoire out or even use anything other than his basic little time orb to kill people. He doesn't need to use like his anastasis or even his healing or his throwing stuff back like by stopping time. He just needs like his basic stuff to annihilate people.
Even if he knows his memories, though, you can't blame him for that. It's like there's no way to turn off memories.
Yeah, but he's got to know. William's got to.
Means he's still leading Patri to go fight Julius, knowing that Patri has an advantage of knowing Julius's magic.
Plus, like, you're sworn to the kingdom, you know, like I say, you know, if you even take, like, into normal military stuff, whether he was, like, real-world military or, like, way back in the day military, you find out something like, oh, yeah, this guy is part of a terrorist group that wants to kill us all, you know, pretty much destroy the kingdom, do all these things. Even if it's like, yeah, these guys just want to assassinate the king, why wouldn't you go tell people? Withholding information is still, like, in itself, like, a big thing. You can get, like, even what was it, it's not on topic at all, but was it, like, the Boston bombing from a couple of years ago? The guy, one of the dudes that was involved with it, his roommates found out, and they weren't involved at all. They just didn't report it after they found it, and that in itself is of a crime. And this wasn't, like, a small thing. This was a countrywide, like, problem.
We, like, all pretty much agree that William's technically guilty, and the conversations more so are his actions, like, morally justified.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that...
I can definitely agree. He definitely did stuff wrong.
I feel like that's the conversation.
Assassinating Fugwelion and attempted assassination on Yami.
100%. I think the only reason he's not going to get executed is because Julius is a fucking bro. Because he blames himself.
Julius is a bro.
If it's not for Julius being like, oh, it's all my fault, I wasn't a good enough leader, and, you know, saw all these things, then, like, you put anybody else in there, you put Yami in charge, and Yami would be like, well, you're not going to have a head tomorrow, and just dimension slash.
No, I think if the stuff with the devil didn't happen, Yami would have killed him. But since the stuff with the devil happened, I don't see Yami...
Well, Yami tried to kill Patri when he thought he was William on sight. The first thing he did was try and dimension slash him. That would have killed him.
Dimension slash.
Like, that was like, that's not like, oh yeah, let me use my lightless slash, it might cut him. It's like, no, this is going to cleave you in half. That's a straight kill move. Like, he's... Like, even Asta, he was like the most, like, forgiving. Like, what was it back with Fauna? He's just like, Fauna's like trying to kill all these people, and he's like, hey, let's talk this out. I want to find out why you're upset. And he was pissed off at Patri. He's like, if it wasn't for the word devil, then he would have probably just been like, yeah, let's fuck this guy up. Like, we already know he was willing to.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Like, he definitely did do a lot of stuff wrong. Like on a legal sense, he would be guilty of, like, treason. But, like, you gotta think about it this way: say the devil wasn't involved, right? Say the humans actually did kill all the elves. Would he still be guilty though? Like, because he would be.
Well, no. Well, of course he would still be, because that's people of the past. You can't blame current people for stuff that happened 500 years ago. It'd be like you go to some country and it's like, yeah, you guys are built on conquering another country. I guess, you know, it's justified killing all of you. It's like, no, of course not. Like, that was also back in the day, like, people were a lot more savage. Like, you had way less rules and, like, critical thinking. You can get away with stuff, you know, killing some guy over, like, yeah, this guy stole my goat. And they're like, okay, seems liable. The guy stole his goat. Fuck him. Now it's just like, why don't you tell the authorities? You don't jump straight to murder. That's illegal. I mean, the Clover Kingdom, they're like...
The authorities are the people who killed everybody, though.
Well, some of them. Well, the nobles weren't, like... I don't think any of them, at least we know, were part of the Magic Knights. They were just, like, a royal family. Like, they were, you know, just high political characters. But that doesn't mean you go around just, like... Because, like, look at the ones that we have now. Like, are any of the families, like, right now, like, really that bad? I mean, the worst one was Langris, and Langris was on their side. And he wasn't like, I mean, who are the worst ones? Like, Langris is probably the worst noble we've seen, and he was on their side, and he wasn't like, I'm gonna kill you because you're a noble or you're a human on the side. He was just like, fuck you, brother, I'm gonna kill your ass. I'm gonna try and execute you in public.
Was Langris already being corrupted by the elves thing?
I think
that's what I was gonna say.
I think it was like at that point where it's like, you know, we saw the elves whenever they get too kind of crazy, that art style would change. They get kind of like almost demonic looking, because he was like that. I think he was on the verge for it. He was in kind of that like losing himself state, but Ratri didn't take over at all. So otherwise, there would have been signs of that giant boost in magic, his like automatic barrier of spatial magic around him and shit. But, like, who else was even that bad out of the Royals? Like,
that fight was so good, dude. Like, actually thinking back, that fight between William, Yami, and Langris.
Yeah, that was pretty... Oh, Langris...
No, not William. Yami, Jack.
Yeah, well, Finral's become one of the best characters, for sure. Everyone loves Finral. But, of course, everyone loves Finral. He was, like, started out as, like, hey, look, I'm the flirty guy. And then it was like, I'm gonna become the best support ever, and then it was like, I'm gonna become the nicest brother ever. He's just the MVP. But like, who else in the nobles? Like,
Imagine
really...
how broken.
Huh?
Have you guys also noticed Jack uses like slicing magic, and he was like a really British murderer?
Yeah, Jack the
Like his
Ripper.
real-
Oh, Jack the Ripper, yeah.
Yeah, he's literally called Jack the Ripper. No, but like, who else? Who out of the royals was, or out of the nobles, or even the royals were even that bad? Like, Langridge was the worst one, and he was on their side.
Well, no,
We know if
the vice captain of the Purple Orcas was horrible. He's gonna literally murder an old lady.
I was actually just gonna say, was Xerx, he a noble, the vice captain of the Orcas?
I think he was.
I don't know. Is he a noble though?
The purple.
Yeah, I think
he was a noble. He had a little yes man.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
He was terrible,
then they should have just invited Zoran to be like, you can be our boss now. You're on the straight picture. They should just be after bad people. And the Purple Orcas were already super corrupt. We already know that. Like, they were already
pretty bad too. Pierce won't even stand near. Well, he used to not even be near peasants or a commoner.
Yeah, the Purple Orcas are definitely they're the shitty ones.
Who's the new captain? Kaiser, was it?
Yeah, Kaiser, the sick mustache.
Yeah, Kaiser.
The shield of the kingdom.
Yeah, the dude was cool. I mean, he seemed cool though. He seemed like a nice dude. I mean, he's got Fuegoleon's respect, so he has to be a cool dude. Once he's got like the highest defensive magic. What? I'm
surprised technically Xerx didn't get the captain spot. Like, Kaiser came out of nowhere.
He's probably like in a coma. He got the shit kicked out of him.
Well, Xerx did become an elf when they fought him, but
he's weak as shit. He
terrible.
wasn't even a special elf.
Kirsch was pretty bad. Solid was awful.
Because like Solid and Nebra were definitely kind of shitty, but they weren't evil. They were just kind of pricks. And Nozel, everyone thought he was bad. He just is kind of like super about his job. Because like even with like Noel and he was like super bad because even with like Noel and Asta, he didn't like him because they thought they couldn't carry their weight. The second he saw Asta carry his weight, he was nice to him. The second he saw Noel carry her weight, he was nice to her. Like, that's all I'm saying. Because like when Fuegoleon got fucked up and was Solid and Eva were shit talking him, saying he's trash for losing, Nozel was just like, well, we weren't even here to do anything, so I guess we're more trash than that. Like, he wasn't a bad guy. He's just too serious. Like, a lot of them are...
What do you think happens now with the captain of the Purple Orcas?
I think he's gonna leave. Oh no, he's gonna leave. Goldread's gonna leave. There's no sticking around. He's not gonna risk that. And he's with Rebji now. Rebji's a straight, like, pretty much a war criminal. I don't think they've said it in the canon, but Tabata said that stealing grimoires is like a war crime. So there's no...
Rebji are a perfect combo, though.
Yeah, and...
I think there's more...
Like, if they can go invisible, then steal your magic.
Well, I already called that out. I called this... I don't know... I feel bad because I don't get to watch everyone else's videos. But I made one not too long ago. I think they're going to defect to another country because they got all these magic items they're probably going to go sell. That'd be also a way to make another country a bigger threat. Probably the Spade or the...
Probably sell it to the Diamond Kingdom.
Hopefully Spade.
Oh, I'm talking about
I want to see
Spade.
Spade.
I've got this theory that the Spade Kingdom are all beast animals.
Oh my!
You know Veto? Like Veto's actually, like Veto's like when he was alive before he got turned into an elf.
All my eggs are
because the Spade Kingdom's like up north and apparently it's cold over there.
It's covered in fog and stuff.
Yeah, and the Beast Human all have fur, so...
Well, all my eggs are that the Heart Kingdom is going to be the biggest threat, since they think they're allies, or at least, quote-unquote allies.
This is something I don't see a lot of people talking about. Like, Veto is quite literally a Beast Human.
I think he's just a big dude. I think he's just like this jacked elf. Like
big hairy Chad.
Yeah, he's just a mountain man. He's pretty much like Chuck Norris from I don't even remember that movie, but an elf. Turns into animals and shit. Yeah. He's just some big mountain man. But yeah, like...
I'm excited to see more races in Black Clover.
More racism. Good job, Sammy. Damn.
No, more racism.
More racism.
Damn, Sammy.
Who do you guys think is more... Who do you think is more justified in their actions, Patri or William?
Patri, I think, is more justified. Because, like, what he was doing was fucked up. But you gotta put it from the elves' perspective. Because, obviously, for his race, it was good for them. Like, they were getting revenge. But for Patri, or for William... If William wasn't the whole big thing that, in my opinion, like really ties William way further down, as William was part of the Magic Knights. Like, he even says what was it, like 2 chapters ago, he says, like, I swear my, my loyalty. What was the comment, like, he swears his loyalty to Julius and the kingdom once again. So he already did that once before. He already swore his grimoire to to all them, and he broke all that. Like, at that point, that's the big thing, I think, that really, in my mind, like, makes him raw guilty, because, it would be the same as if, somebody in the military decided to team up with some terrorist group. It'd be like, you can try and justify it, but it's like, no, you have a direct, duty to do specific things, and high treason with the enemies is not one of them. Like, if
we're actually talking about treason, I think Raya is the most treasonous. Because, like, his special ability, like, lets him know stuff, and he knew all along that Licht wasn't, like, Licht, and it was actually Patri, and that, like, what he was doing was
I mean, he was...
And he didn't say anything.
He was on board with all this. He was pissed off at the humans, too. He wanted to get revenge.
Yeah, I know all along the humans weren't lying, though.
Did he know about the demon? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I think he says it in one of the translations right before or after he gets shot. He goes like, all along I've known, but I just didn't say anything because I just went along with it.
I think that was like 195 or like 96, something like. It was like
whatever chapter.
I think it was might have been right before he ends up getting aced.
Got it.
Aced.
Yeah, he's like, I've known this entire time, but I haven't said anything, and I'm like, wait, hang on, what?
Because
did he know?
He definitely said he knew that it wasn't the humans who did it.
I'm wondering if he just knew about the.
I think by far he's the most treasonous.
I mean, he was on. Just because it's a little bit messed up, but at the same time, he was more on board with his, his race. They probably still had beef with.
I also don't really think Raya cared for humans that much.
Like, yeah, he had some issues too, but with William, it's like you're a race traitor, and you betrayed like your order and stuff. And now, like the same thing, like I said, like the Golden Dawn, like logically they shall get disbanded because they don't know who in there is fine with betraying them. They don't know who to trust. Like, the only one really is that they can really count on, and not assume he's like some backstabber.
Mimosa probably.
And Mimosa, of course, Mimosa, big titties, big titty gal. She's a friend.
From like a legal standpoint, yeah, he definitely like was treasonous and did the wrong thing. But I definitely think he was justified.
Yeah, right here, chapter 197. Because that person betrayed us, we elves were destroyed by the humans. But being that I'm able to discern all manner of lies, I knew good and well that they never betrayed us or anything of the sort. He knew all along the humans had nothing to do with it.
He's just on board, and he's like, "Fuck it, let's just keep going."
And
he was just like, "Fuck it, let's just go." Patri's.
He just didn't tell him because he wanted them to keep their thirst for revenge against the humans.
Oh yeah, he said that he didn't want it all to die out because he wanted this all to lead. And he was more concerned with the elves getting resurrected than anything. Like, he was fine with it as long as they come back. They came back.
That was his big thing.
Yeah, because keep it from his perspective too. It's like, it's kind of messed up, but I'm sure he's like, I'd rather have the elves back than be nice to humans.
Yeah, of course. You'd want all of your people that you grew up with.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's like kind of like what I said.
What happened with Ron, by the way?
With who?
What happened with Ronnie?
Did he pass out? I think he just passed out.
His soul probably just went into the other world or the realm or whatever.
Just floating around. Sally better get to work, start making new bodies.
Do you think that's actually gonna happen? Do you think we're gonna get like Licht back in the future?
I mean, what was otherwise, what was the point of turning Sally good? Now because otherwise it's just like
she makes tons of magical.
I mean, she's definitely useful, but it's like that was the like big thing that she brought into the arc. Is she can literally make artificial bodies. And we know they have to be a certain way for the elves to get into them. She can literally make it like, yeah, I know how to do all this.
Well, I don't really think she can, because like their souls are gone, like they're like moved on, so there's nowhere like.
I'm sure she could
they
call
don't
back.
have anything to put in these.
Plus, they have Radis, and Radis can Radis literally recreated Patri's body by calling his soul back. Like He's broken. Also,
he put it back in. He put it.
Put it into Lick's body.
Did it?
Yeah, he put.
I thought it crumbled.
Like,
Maybe I missed that. Let me go back and look. I could have sworn they straight created it. Let me look.
Because like William took over Patri, or William took back over his body, and then when Lick left, I believe he put Patri into Lick's body.
I thought his body decayed like a fucking Lumire's. Maybe I'm missing stuff. Let me look. I could have sworn that he decayed. Also, like, side note, like, Asta was ready to... Yeah, didn't he decay? No. Well... Now I gotta relook. Asta's ready to give up that grimoire and just go back to being a buff hobo.
Buff hobo.
Yeah,
a lot of
that
people
is
think this fight lasted too long, but it literally lasted.
It was like, yeah, it was not that long.
Yeah, it was not that long.
I just remember because like I remember people saying
and a lot of people forget it, but in anime, this is probably going to be one episode for the Lumire's backstory.
I mean, it's going to
be 2 episodes probably before.
It's going to be like it's going to be like 3 or 4 episodes. What was the fucking what was the fight? Luffy fighting Katakuri was like 20 chapters or some shit. Like, fights can go on for a long time.
19. Yeah.
Like, Mark Gear fought for 30-something straight chapters. I mean, 10 chapters is not a long time.
Multiple different people.
Yeah, 10 chapters. It was like 10, 11, 12
That's like,
chapters.
what, like 2 volumes? Like,
yeah, that's not a lot. And he was...
Yeah, this is going to be, like, quite literally 4 episodes.
And that was the first demon as well. Like, it was the first demon that we ever got to see in combat. Like, it had to be a big deal.
Do you guys think there's going to be one epilogue chapter where we see the demon realm?
I hope so.
I'm waiting for that. I hope so.
I hope so.
He needs to.
Like, it's going to be the king of the devil and some small devil's going to report to him.
I don't think there's going to be
dead, and he's going to be like, that pathetic weakling. Don't worry.
I don't think they're going to have a king. I think they're all just going to. I think it's just going to be like hell. Yeah, it's 7 deadly sins. Oh, hold on. You're going to make me go on a rant of fucking the current state of 7 deadly sins. Stop. Fucking so annoyed with that series right now.
Dude, 7 deadly sins, dude. I read it every week and I'm laughing my ass off.
It's falling apart. Oh, I have to sidetrack. It's falling apart so bad.
I actually like it.
Escanor one hand blocks the Demon King's sword. Like, what the fuck is that shit? That is ridiculous.
7 deadly sins, I agree.
It's fine if you ignore all the consistency. The only good thing is that Escanor is still the best Sin, even with all like. Also, why the fuck? I'm so confused. The Demon King had a great sword, and Zeldris had an Executioner's blade, and then like he merges and then has a katana. Why? I was so confused.
I think we should move on from 7 deadly sins. There's so much you can say about that. For example, why the fuck is Merlin?
Merlin is a stream of her own because she's literally just a walking plot device. Like she just pulls spells out of her ass. What was it?
She also had Bond's sacred treasure for like,
the whole series. The whole series. She had Meliodas' too. Yeah, she had Meliodas' too during the whole Hendrickson fight when almost everyone died. And it's like, oh yeah, I had this too. And then they fought the Albion that was just as strong, and he one-shotted it. It was like nothing. But Merlin, what was it? Recently Merlin, like, after they thought they beat the Demon King, she just snaps her fingers. She's like, oh, I also have a spell that pulls curses out of people's bodies. She's such a stupid fucking character. Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
I'm gonna go on so many. I'm so frustrated because I was there when 7 deadly sins started. I remember when Chapter 1 came out. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then, like, the first arc was alright, and the second arc was good, and then right when Meliodas got his powers back, they just started to, like, trash every single fucking 10 Commandment. And they burned the generals out of nowhere. And then, what was it, the Enduraform?
The first sin.
Yeah, the Enduraform. He did nothing. He did fucking nothing. He got beaten up by King from, like, 40 miles away. And then, what was it, the part when we thought Arthur beat them, and then it was like, oh no, they're just testing him, and then you see all their demon, like their Enduraforms, like flexing on him, and none of them ever happened. There's no point to even add the end. He does that so many fucking times. He adds so many power-ups, and there's no point. Like, Meliodas just gets us...
I guarantee you, Escanor's gonna survive anyway. He ain't dying.
Listen, Escanor surviving I'll be okay with, because he's the best Sin. By far, Escanor's the best one.
Hey, back.
And yeah, I'm getting super sidetracked because I'm really mad about the current state of the series. But yeah,
epilogue. What do you think? If we do get an epilogue, let's go down. What do you think will happen?
I'm the top of the list. Okay, yeah, you go first.
Wait, what? What's gonna happen with the demons?
Actually, real quick, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you guys think is gonna happen with William? Actually, really quick, just on topic.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. I actually had that. I had that idea too because it's like you
honestly,
got the elves. You got the elves
yeah.
here. They're like a special
him
forces.
and Patri.
Low key though, I think you might get Lizard King.
Yeah.
No, that would be fucking stupid.
Because
No.
like everyone of the like, remember what he said?
Absolutely
Like
not.
the people require trust in you. The people need to see this, and currently the people see him as the savior.
Yeah, but
South America.
you know how many people know? You know how many people know? It's gonna.
Bullshit.
I'm telling you right
Only
now.
1/3 of that spell.
I'm telling you right now, Fuego Leon is gonna be Wizard King in a fucking doubt. Dude got goddamn Salamander. He's gonna get Spirit Dive,
It
and
needs to be.
there also needs to be a level of threat because that's the thing. Like, if you were from another country and you're like, we want to attack the Clover Kingdom, and it's like, all right, who's our biggest threat? Oh, Julius. He's like, it's like, what's special about Julius? Like, he's a time mage. He can like turn people into dust, see into the future, reverse his own wounds, stop people comments.
Julius did need the nerf. He was too broken.
Well, yeah, that's because he was he was the Paragon character. He was super OP. But like now,
he was Merlin. He was literally Merlin.
but now no, he's not. The difference Merlin it just pulls new spells out of her ass, and there's absolutely no like build up to it. With Julius, it's like, oh, another time thing. Yeah, okay, he reversed this wound on his body. It makes sense. Merlin literally remembered she had a counter that made her immune to all commandments after the fact. After the fact that she got like almost instantly beaten by Galen. She's like, oh yeah, I have this power. You guys can't hurt me now. She's such a fucking stupid. I love her character when she showed up. She was so cool, and she's just so fucking stupid now. God damn it, you've made me angry again. Stop. But but fucking, like I said, you got to keep in mind the threat level. Like William's strong, but he's not a level of deterrent just by being there. Because
In overall battle though, he's like broken because he can just steal your magic.
He's strong. I mean, as long as you don't
with his giant tree.
Yeah, he's strong.
There's like a large.
He's captain strong, but he's captain strong. But like, you have to have a character that it's like just talking about how broken they are has to like make you say, maybe we shouldn't go there. Because again, it's like if you were from the Diamond Kingdom, it's like, what's our biggest threat to attacking the kingdom? You just literally talk about Julius, and you're like, oh, fuck that, I'm not doing that. But then it's like, but like, keep in mind, like, okay, they're like, oh, Julius is dead, who's in charge now? It's like, oh, it's this dude Fuego Leon. It's like, what's special about him? Well, he's got, he's also got Salamander, and he logically will be the most powerful the second he learns Spirit Dive out of all the captains, because that's like a straight multiplier.
Broken.
Yeah, and it's the highest offensive magic. And look how strong Fauna was, and her magic was based around healing. And here's Fuego Leon, who's just like this big offensive powerhouse. Give him the strongest fire spirit. He's already broken.
Do you think Noelle will eventually get the War Spirit?
Oh yeah, of course. Of course she's gonna.
She's gonna be way too broken.
Well, yeah, she's gonna.
I don't want her to get it. Like I don't.
Valkyrie dress with Spirit Dive.
Who else is gonna get it? Well, yeah, she's gonna need it eventually. This is like where captains are now, and we don't even know what other continents there are, and like what other ancient like races and shit.
Yeah,
the demons.
We don't actually know how strong the Spade Kingdom is. Like, look at Veto. Like like I know he had an elf boost and all, but like Veto was from the Spade Kingdom, and he was technically dead, so he was still that strong.
He was fucking. And we don't even know like what else, because the Spade Kingdom is connected to other continents. We only know like 4 kingdoms and then the Land of the Sun. We don't know what else is in the world, and Tabata already said he's fully fine. Like he's prepared.
I've got this crack fury. Yami is an isekai character.
That was retarded. An isekai character. He's an isekai. It's just Japan. It's just an Asian country. I mean, they're the Clover Kingdom and all them. They're pretty much like Europeans or Nordics or some shit. An isekai character.
Got a katana.
Yeah, like, why would you bring in, like, an idea of, like, an isekai? Is it some dude that Tabata, like, couldn't to work with? He's like, dude, this is gonna be
randomly washes up to shore.
He got stuck on a boat.
And he gets one of the strongest magic.
Oh, he got lucky.
How did he get a katana, though?
Oh, he had it custom made.
How did he... Oh.
Remember, he said that when Vito first broke his katana, he got pissed off, because he's like, this is custom made. This is expensive. And katana, yeah, especially because katanas, like, there's a lot of care in
Yami fits the perfect isekai character who's completed his anime.
If he was an isekai character, he wouldn't be a 6'2" jacked dude smoking.
Not only that, the demon goes, your magic hurts
because it's
from another world.
Because it's dark magic. Yeah, another, like, the other dimension. It's not like, yeah, man, you got this power. You're from Boston. Is that true? I've heard about this. The other realm. They got pizza over there.
Dude, what if Black Clover turns into Gate?
If Black Clover turns secretly into an isekai, then
No,
I'm pretty
no,
much gonna have to
have you seen
retire.
Gate?
Jesus
Have you
Christ,
seen Gate?
Sammy.
Have you seen
This
Gate?
is always a fantasy RPG.
Yeah.
This is all just
dude.
planning. He's gonna show up and it's gonna have Kirito.
Dude, they go into the real world and then they see Deku. And then we have that
Jesus.
crossover.
No, thank you. Don't. This
You
doesn't
know the
need to
guy
happen.
who is just spends all his money on microtransactions. That's why he gets all this broken power ups. And Asta's the guy who.
Yeah, that's true. If anything, would be the isekai character. I start out with all this broken shit.
Wait, one thing I think we might have missed.
Cheat
So,
codes.
we still don't know the origins of Asta and Yuno's parents, but one thing this does kind of confirm is that Yuno is a royal. Because
Well, yeah.
only royals were affected with the elf.
Well, I mean, this is, we already know that at least the soul of like,
Yuno is an elf. Yuno is a royal.
Oh, I'm full on board
The
with.
royals were the
All the
royals
royals
are the only ones
except
not
the Silver Million Clover.
Oh,
Except the Silver Million line. Were
I'm full on board still that
no royals were. I thought no royals were touched by the elven.
I think it's the
No,
noble.
And none of
It's
the
the
royals changed. It was only the nobles.
Yeah, the nobles.
yeah. I'm still on board that Yuno was.
it confirms that Yuno is a noble at least.
Oh, noble.
Oh no, I'm still full on board that I'm still.
Asta isn't.
Well, yeah, Asta's just a peasant. Asta's just a little peasant midget. I'm still on board that Yuno is the actual, like, licked Tedio child, and it's not, like, sleeping. I think he just grew up with humans, so he just acts like a human. Because he's gonna, that's the
How did he travel 500 years, though, is the real question.
We don't know. Why does Asta, maybe something that explained that, like, Asta's, because we know Asta. Who knows? Maybe.
One thing I really thought it would explain was in this arc is their parents, but I guess.
Well, one thing,
want to do it this early.
there could be something involved because we already know at least one possibility for Asta not having magic. Because you remember back in that cave arc when they were draining kids of their magic. What was her fucking Mother Teresa or whatever this shit? She just like enough drained on a small child is gonna make it so like they can't even use magic. Maybe Asta was like one of the prototypes. Maybe baby Yuno was like one of the first people they made, like an artificial body. Maybe they made it special since he was, the son of Licht. But I don't know. I think that would just be the best choice rather than have to bring in some other character. Plus, if he's Tedia's child, then he would be direct royal bloodline, and then you could have Asta become Wizard King, and Yuno could become like the royal king.
They'd be heir to the throne if they were Tedia's child.
Because and then he could be the actual king.
That's why I really
Asta
like
would be the
Broku's theory about their eye colors, but it kind of got fucked since Luminere's eye color got changed to blue.
Yeah. He looks whack in the new episodes.
Yeah, I don't know why his eye color suddenly got changed to blue.
Plus, look at them. Like
Tabata's involved with the anime, so I guess it's an actual Tabata choice.
Yuno wind magic, Tedia wind magic. There's so many ties, and he's got now his sword too.
And like 500 years ago, humans were short, so for Asta being short.
I think I think it has something to do with the other realm. Like maybe he ended up going in there. Maybe time flows differently in the place where the demons are. I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
Do you think Asta and Yuno are related?
No,
in one way or another.
I don't want Asta to ever have some special.
I think they're connected, maybe, but not related.
I don't want Asta to ever have some special parent. I like that he was born nobody and he rose to the top. That was one of the things that I think hurt Naruto. Is Naruto was a child of prophecy, pretty much undid all his like. Oh yeah, screw you, talented guys. I'm gonna hard work. And it's like if you're destined to be great, and like because that's the thing that Asta has a heavy theme on. It's like hard work, effort, keep trying, don't give up.
No, but at the end of the day, you gotta realize Tabata's a massive Naruto fan, so something like that.
So, no, Tabata's favorite manga is fucking Berserk, and Guts was found in a pool of his mother's afterbirth, like when she was hung from a tree. And what was it like when everyone said their favorite Weekly Shonen Jump characters, and fucking Oda had Goku and Horikoshi had Naruto, and Tabata picked Hiei, who's like full on fine with incinerating people. Like Tabata definitely like I imagine he likes like Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and all of like the things that were big when he was up and coming young. But like there's definitely like a higher type for like him for like doing darker stuff. Like the only reason Black Clover like is not as dark as he probably would potentially make it, is because it's Weekly Shonen Jump.
There was like an interview that said that his 3 biggest influences for Black Clover was Berserk, Harry Potter, and Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think so.
That's an odd combination.
Yeah,
it is odd,
a lot
but
of
it
people are
works.
saying like the feeling of death is kind of taken away with this new arc. Do you agree?
Well, no, that wasn't the thing. Was that Julius dying was not the theme of the arc. The theme of the arc was you were finding out what all the holes in the story was, because we got the human perspective, we got the elf perspective of that event, but there were holes and we didn't know why, and it was about, you know, the race relations between the two, finding out the real history. Like Julius's death was not. It happened at the very beginning. It wasn't the theme of what was going on. Like, character deaths were not the impact of this arc. It was, you know, the emotional weight of everything that was going on, finding out what really happened. I always thought that was a really kind of like silly thing to say. And then it's like the series is 200 chapters in, and it's people on the good side don't usually die in mainstream shonen.
True.
I was like, I talked to somebody about that recently, and they were trying to be like, there are like examples like, oh yeah, it was like Code Geass and Gurren Lagann and stuff. I'm like,
a lot of people missed it, but
I
with
don't think that's the
Roddy's,
same.
like with Roddy's bringing someone back, they have to be close to Radius.
Well, no, I think he can do it, but he hates the Clover Kingdom. He doesn't give a shit about them.
Like
Yeah.
No, I think it has to be with someone close to him.
No, I think he just doesn't. I think he just decides.
That's what
but
the translation said.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously Patri was close to him, and so were the other two.
Okay. I just think that, like,
you also you gotta look at almost like how he brought him back though. It's not like if say someone like gets like stabbed or gets like their head cut off or dies from like injury, he can't just like bring them back.
Yeah, we don't know the full extent. Like, maybe he needs their soul or their body or something. He can't just like go to a grave.
Like, yeah, I don't think they have to die from like that kind of way.
Well, he has the potential to be his own arc villain. Like, imagine him going into like the crypt where all the Wizard Kings are probably buried or something.
Oh my gosh.
And he can be his own. Like, could you imagine an arc where he's the whole villain, but none of his crew talk? He just talks to them. Is this crazy motherfucker with all these zombies? I need that.
What do you
to
think
happen.
happens to those three now? Do you think a couple of them are going to join Black Bulls?
Sally, I think is going to join the Black Bulls. I think Valtros is going to join. Valtros is either going to just kind of like become a normal dude or join the kind of like government branch with like marks and stuff. And
he might join Golden Dawn.
Raditz, I do not think is going to join. I think he's going to leave. Like, there's no way that they're going to forgive. He's just going to forgive everybody. Like, this doesn't because he wasn't screwed over by the elves. He wasn't screwed over by like anybody involved in this. He was just screwed over by the purple orcas. And we already knew they were scummy, and like what they did to Zara and stuff. Like, he didn't even get like some crazy like secret reason why it was. Like, he just was kind of like hated on and then treated like shit. And they kicked him out because they thought he was going to be a villain. And he's like, well, fuck you guys, fine. I'm just going to go screw you up. And
what were the elves? Do you think? What do you think? Fana, Raya, and
I liked. I thought that too with Broku. I thought Broku was spot on. Suicide Squad. They could be spec
you don't
ops.
think they're going to join the Golden Dawn?
Oh, Patri.
I think they're just going to make another Magic Knight squad.
I think they're gonna with Patri. I have my own theory eventually, because we know now how Black Clover grimoires are made. There's gonna be more in the world, and probably equivalent.
Personally, I kind of would have wanted an elf squad to make it 10 Magic Knight squads instead of 9.
Well, we might
9 is a weird number.
Well, I think they're gonna disband the. I think they're gonna disband the Golden Dawn for sure. That's my money on. Unless they keep, because I think William's gonna be a face character. I think he's only gonna be like presented like he's some, not in the shit house, but they're gonna still be like constant watch on him. For Magic Knight's orders, I'm hoping at some point, because we're going to get more Black Clover grimoires, I'm hoping Asta, when he moves up to the point of being a captain, he makes his own Knight Order and calls them the Black Clovers, and he's got his own, like, Black Clover squad. That'd be so sick. And that an extra layer in why this series is called Black Clover. And then you just have, because that would fit in his too, because he would have a small crew like Yami. You just have that, like, compact, like, elite group of, like, handful of people that know what they're doing. Not, like, the Golden Dawn or something. You got like 200 people. You don't know who's who, and you don't know, like, you don't coordinate as well.
Do you think like in the Clover Kingdom you got 4 leaf clovers? Do you think you have like 4 diamond clovers?
Yeah, they gotta have an equivalent.
4 diamonds, 4 spades, 4 hearts.
Well, the Diamond
I think
Kingdoms...
that, like the other kingdoms have their own hierarchy. Of
Yeah,
grimoires,
I think they have to have their equivalent, because there's also the question of, like, because the Clover grimoires, it looks like they came from the elves. Like, what about the diamond ones? Maybe the diamond ones came from the dwarves. And maybe, like, the Heart Kingdom, maybe each kingdom will have their own, like, ancestral, like, magic race. Like, maybe the Spade Kingdom will have something like Minotaurs or some shit, and the Heart Kingdom will have vampires or something. I think that'd be a really cool way to differentiate everything. It makes sense. Elves, very nature-like.
Be cool.
I'm definitely excited moving forward. We're now officially done with the first arc in Black Clover.
That's like the first saga, because like everything built up to this, but we know that there's still stuff coming up. We don't know exactly who and
here's
when.
a question to all of you. Do you think once the anime passes the Lumiere backstory, do you think the intro in the anime is going to change?
Probably. I think they'll... what is it? They're on... I'm kind of like confused on it, because they're moving around the chapters. Like they're not going in order. Some of the fights they're taking ahead. Like I think the next episode is gonna have scenes from Yami against Carla, which doesn't happen until what, like 160, 170.
The next episode's gonna be Yami versus the Doctor and Mars.
Yeah, that leads right up. That leads right up to him, because that happened right before the fight.
After.
Yeah, they're not going in order. They're moving the fights around, probably to keep the hype train, which is fine, because that's what's keeping Black Clover's like popularity swelling. Is like the anime. This arc is super hyped, and they're literally just lining up all the hype stuff like crazy.
I think it is going in order, dude. I think right after the lick, the Patri backstory, that's when Mark decided to attack Thingy.
Well, no, right after the whole backstory was when like Licht came down, and like that was when right before Austin teamed up, because that was like early 150s. Because it wasn't until after
you have the whole scene where Luck attacks Noelle.
Yeah, though but like all the are you talking about like when Yami fights those two guys and then Carla shows up? Or are you just talking about because
Yami's gonna fight those two guys, Carla's gonna show up, and then it's gonna go into Luck attacking.
Yeah, we don't see the Yami fight until after Austin. You don't get blown out of the base.
After, yeah.
And I don't think we're gonna get right to the Licht and and Asta team up. I think the next one they're skipping over stuff and they're gonna come back to them. They're just rearranging them.
No, the next major fight is Marileona versus 5 of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they're not going in order. I looked at the episodes that were coming up soon. Like the next, I think like one or two episodes. Like they're getting ready to have that Carla and Yami fight. And also getting Fuego Leon is coming back within them too. So they're not going in order. But it's still going to be pretty hype. I mean, as long as they don't mess with timeline stuff, it doesn't really matter.
Yo, we had a discussion on the Black Clover Discord. I think the demon fight is going to be on opening 12. Or opening 10. Or 11.
What are they at right now? 8? Might be 9. Because they stretched out 7.
No, because I think 9 is going to be like the Yami fight, the Noelle Valkyrie dress.
Maybe.
The and Asta were saving the town.
Well, no, they've been dragging it out way longer lately, and they just change up the animation but keep the song. Because they went through 3 versions.
At max, it's only 14 episodes. Like the last one, 7 was the longest one with 14 episodes.
I mean, there's only what are they at right now? They're in the 150s, so they still have another 60. That's probably around 30. That's probably around 30 episodes. So maybe. I guess it just depends on what they do. I mean, as long as they fit and keep going, because this one, I think they held on to opening 7 longer than any other episode or any other opening.
Yeah. Also, talking about opening 8, a lot of us didn't notice it. I only noticed it after rewatching it 30 times. But the opening starts with you seeing the Wizard King statue, and then it starts shining. Yeah,
it's pretty intense. You ever notice, was it chapter? You can tell the. I actually went back to look, and you can tell in chapter 1 that where Lumiere's eyes are on the statue, they're just holes. I always assumed it was a shadow. Pretty crazy stuff.
Down.
Not noticed that at all.
Good stuff.
This might be a coincidence, but I just looked something up. So, the Spade Kingdom's in the north, right?
Yeah, they're also the largest. They're the largest.
There's a Norse god whose name is Njord. He's the god of the north, and his weapon in Norse mythology is a wooden spade.
I mean, that makes sense. Tabata's definitely taking stuff out of North.
What is he? Is he like a
mythology.
beast? Is he like a beast or is he human?
What's he?
He's a god.
What's
He's
he the god
of
of?
the Vanir tribe.
What does he look like?
Oh shit! Probably a beard.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to.
He's got to be a thug if he kills
And
you
this
with a wooden
art, he
shovel.
kind of looks like.
He's got
He just like
Yeah,
kind of looks like
it's
Jesus, long hair and a beard in this drawing. Of him.
magic Jesus.
Didn't Veto have a long beard?
Yeah, but he's
Say
just a
the
hairy.
long
He's just a hairy dude. Unless you think he's like a foreign exchange student for the elves.
I don't think he's human, dude.
Vito?
No.
No, he's an elf.
No. I mean, like Veto's like first, like the body he.
It's just that was just a big dude.
Dude, I don't think that dude was human.
He was just a big dude.
I think it could have been an effect of his magic, like in the case
Yeah,
of
he had
Sinnoh,
beast
like,
magic.
his magic tried to affect his appearance.
And I'm pretty sure he had a tail as well.
I think Tabata just wanted to make him a thug.
Dude, he was also like, dude, like look at voice. That does not look like a human.
Well, we already know his magic like messed with his body. I mean, yeah, he's not. He's just a big dude. His hair is. I mean, what do you mean, like in terms of like his
Also
body
talking
hair?
about the fact that he has fangs.
I'm sort of Zora.
And quite literally dog teeth.
I mean, sort of Zora.
Anime thing.
Zora has
Not-
sharp teeth.
Zora's is a mask, isn't it?
No, Zora's got like goddamn shark teeth. He filed them down. He's a madman. God, that must have been horrible to do. I can't even imagine. Filing your teeth down probably would hurt so much. Fucking psycho Zora. Jeez.
I'm excited to explore the north.
Well, yeah, we've only really seen one area. We've only really seen the Clover Kingdom.
Do you think Tabata's gonna bait and switch? Like, I think everyone's expecting the next arc to be Diamond. Do you think we'll go Heart instead?
I'd rather see the Diamond just because it's like, what has Mars been doing for the last 100 chapters? And we also know, at least seen their kind of like boss characters. The one black guy in Black Clover. Still haven't seen him. He's just there. One day.
Moving forward, it's gonna be cool in the next couple arcs.
Oh yeah, my money's on the Diamond Kingdom. Because if the Spade is the biggest, they're probably the strongest. I still have my money on the Heart Kingdom, but probably the Spade Kingdom. I don't think it'll be the Spade first. I think Diamond, just because we've already found out about them.
Well, like it was said that the Spade Kingdom has the biggest military. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that would
they're
kind of
huge.
like almost allude to them being the strongest.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna get to them above everything else. The Diamond
They have
Kingdom
a
just seems
bigger
like the most.
nation. Like if you look at the actual sizes of them, like,
Yeah,
oh,
they're also the only one connected to another continent, so we don't know what else they've explored. That's the thing. Like we don't know like animals and monsters. Like we know there are magic animals, but we don't know a lot about them. I mean, they could have like crazy creatures they've caught all around the world.
There's also the Forsaken Realm we need to explore.
Well, that's just like what the land in between. It's like what, like in between all the countries. It's like free zone. It's like where the witches are.
Yeah, that weird area.
My money's on the Heart Kingdom. I think because it's like we haven't seen anything with them, but they're apparently allies. I think that
They might actually go there for help during their like rebuilding process.
Possibly.
Because it'd be normal. Go like an ally to help.
Hopefully so. We're getting there. We'll get there at some point. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Someone was telling me about like the comment that what was his name? I can't remember that. The elf that took over Gotch, was it Droit? Drought? Yeah. Of his comment about Asta and his power, like eventually like having a price, and then the whole comment from Julius about Asta is gonna die. I'm very curious of whether it's like he's just gonna straight die, or if it's more like a premonition thing, or if it's more of like the demon inside him might take over, and then Asta loses control. He's not himself anymore. Also,
But let's be honest. Asta's definitely not gonna die.
I mean, yeah, he's not gonna die. He's the main character, and he's the most popular.
Yo, what if Tabata bait and switches and makes Hino the main character?
No.
Yami's the main character now. It's just him smoking and yelling.
I kind of think the thing with Asta's death. Like,
I think it's
I
a
don't know if you guys
premonition.
have ever seen Akame got killed, but
Yeah.
like kind of how like the main character, he used his power so much that he started to like transform into a monster a little bit.
Yeah.
So like, what if Asta continuing to rely on his black form to turn
Tatsumi.
more into like a demon-esque
Well, yeah, there's
you can see it at the end of that arc. Like he was starting to grow another wing.
Well, no. So if you go back and look at some of the stuff, like when he confronted Langris, without even being in the form, he gets a fang and his eye changes, and he has a little bit of dark on him. He's like, I'll post it. He's got his fang. He's not even his form. Here, let me show you guys. It's chapter 128 for anybody listening that wants.
It's kind of the same as like fairy tale or dragon side magic. The more you use it, the more you turn into a dragon.
Well, I thought it was more going to be like kind of like when Natsu was talking to the inner Igneo, and at first he said that you're going to die, but then it was actually like further revealed. It's like you're not going to die. The person you are will die. You'll become someone else. Because I think it's going to be more of like. If Asta keeps pushing, his demon might eventually take control. But I still think the demon is actually pro Asta. I don't think he's going to do that. I think that's going to be the switch, because Tabata's done a lot of things that kind of like makes you think it's going to be like, oh yeah, like when Asta first went into his anti-magic form, like everyone thought he was going to go into like Naruto one-tail berserker, but he's full in control. And the demon was pretty nice to him when they were talking. Like he was like. He said, like, when he's like, yeah, let me take control, he was no forceful, he only wanted voluntary stuff. I think because that's going to be my guess of when this demon is different, because we don't know how exactly where he comes from. I think he was born. I think he was born. I think he was born whenever Lick turned into a demon, because he wasn't. He didn't get taken over. He straight raw turned into a demon. Where did all that demonic force go when he died? I think it went into the Grimoire, and then because he didn't grow up in the demon realm. And if you're a demon in the demon realm and you like straight have anti-magic, I feel like you'd be known.
Yeah, like the timeline seriously doesn't make sense, because Sakurai was protecting the book, so how could you not notice a demon go in it? So
well, no, I think the demon formed like I don't know, like the excess power when Lick died, all that demonic force. I mean, Sakurai isn't like some absurd like She's got good, like, support magic, but she's not, like, I'm a crazy one.
Does Patri's Grimoire have a demon in it now?
Well, he didn't turn into a demon, he turned into a dark elf. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, but his Clover's a 5-leaf.
I know, but I think the difference is that instead of a dark elf, he became a demon. And then it's like, when he died and came back, like, Licht was just normal Licht again. What happened to all that demonic, like, aspect to him? I think it went in the Grimoire, and then...
Patri kept his dark elf powers.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, because he didn't just turn into a dark elf, like, what's his fucking, like, Lick straight, like, morphed into a demon. He became an entirely different creature. But, like, when he was defeated, where did all that go? And then that would explain why... Oh, someone's inviting me to a game.
No, but remember episode 1, chapter 1, they said within the 5th leaf, the demon?
I think it's more towards, like...
So, does that statement apply to Asta or all 5-leaf clovers?
My guess, I think it's more like, I think in general, it's more of like, because Patri's magic...
Maybe it's a baby demon.
Because Patri went from light magic to demon light magic. I think it's maybe something more like that. That's just where I'm at right now with what we have. Yeah. My money's more on because he turned into a straight demon. Maybe the demon after that whole fight, maybe he, all that energy went into this Grimoire. He was born, and maybe that's why he doesn't act like the other demons. He's not, like, evil. He just kind of... Because he doesn't seem bad. He just likes to seem to talk shit.
Well, the thing with, like, Asta's demon is, like, I feel like it had to be around because it had knowledge of the word demon. You know what I mean? Like, he knew him. So, like, he couldn't have been formed then, because he clearly knew him.
Well, when he knew him from events, maybe, like, because that whole time area when the word demon was doing stuff... And they know he got forwarded when Licht became a demon. How much did he know about him?
I'm honestly waiting for a demon epilogue. Like, it's gotta happen.
Oh, I
think it will.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think it's gonna be like just like what they did with the diamond generals. Once the old ones died, they showed all the new ones. I think it's gonna be something with that, with the demons or the devils.
That's what I'm hoping for. Because
they'll show us maybe a few or something, and then 100, 200 chapters later, we'll see him again.
Because we got heavy. Because like the word demon took so much to kill him, and then we know one of them.
We still don't even know his name.
Yeah, one of them by himself is like a huge threat. So it's like if we see like 5, 10 of them all in a group, it's gonna be oh shit. Like without even them having to do anything, we know they're a big deal.
Like one thing we gotta know, Tabata has planned this series out, and he said he can go as long as One Piece. So he definitely has a lot of material.
Tabata definitely plans ahead. People don't give him credit, like for real.
I would never expect
that's the thing that screws over a lot a lot of the big series is just because the authors, you know, they don't plan on making big series like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Bleach. Like they didn't plan. They didn't.
Mike Hero, Horikoshi confirmed he wanted to end it by
Like, well, yeah, but I don't think he has any of the problems of like right now, at least of I didn't plan like large scale, and then you have like inconsistencies like later on, like fucking Bleach. You had all the captains being like, yeah, I know we're a couple 100 years old, but we're gonna quadruple our strength in like the next 2 weeks. It's like that's kind of silly, and that just kind of comes into like, yeah, I didn't expect the series to blow up. I mean, was it Goku was like he was supposed to just be like this Sun Wukong demon, and then became an alien from another planet. And it's just because the authors just, like, they don't plan that far. Tabata clearly has planned a lot of this out. I'm sure there are things that he's, you know, planned and then changed, but he's definitely had a lot of stuff. Like, this is concrete. I mean, yeah, like... Yeah, like anybody who's like, oh, the Charmy reveal didn't make sense. It's like, you know how much foreshadowing that had? Get the fuck out of here. It's like from the very start, it was like, yeah.
There's also saying a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, that was the thing I think that a lot of people, you know, faced, like, forehead slapped to be like, God damn it makes so much sense.
To be honest, the biggest foreshadowing was, like, throughout the whole series, Charmy would constantly change her own height.
I think that was...
One episode, she was sitting on the Wizard King's laps. Another episode, she was tall.
I think that was more of like chibi stuff. I think that was more just like, you know, silly. Well, wouldn't people notice that she's normally when they see her, she's like 2 feet tall, and then randomly she just triples.
About it, but no one ever had a theory until it happened.
Yeah, but
like a magical world, so it's like no one's gonna really ask. Like,
they gotta have something. Because that was the thing that like people noticed when she got really tall. Because then otherwise, why would people freak out? It'd be like, oh shit. I always put that to more of like, you know, silly stuff, but like she's super like festive. She's all about like eating and, you know, merrymaking and sharing her food and just like having a good time. That's like a dwarven aspect. You know, we know about like what was it back in the Water Temple when the dude commented about like something sleeping within her and stuff. And then they thought she was an elf when she got pissed off when they messed up her garden.
Yeah.
That she had enough magical power, and it was so different. They thought she was an elf. It's people not paying attention. That was what bothered me too about the Julius thing. It's like, yeah, I kind of would have preferred him to stay dead for, you know, like reasons like Yami development. That was really interesting. But he came back nerfed, but it all was laid out. Like Tabata, he had that mark since the start, but he clearly in that chapter where we thought he died, the panel. It got its own panel when the mark crumbled away. There was clearly intention of like, hey, take note of this.
Yeah, the anime focused on it as well.
If people just wanted to complain about shit. That's
Dude,
like
the whole theory that came out that literally he died in the anime and 3 days later he rose in the manga.
He's Jesus. He's Jesus.
The only issue of that theory is that only works in in the West. But because in Japan they get the manga.
Yeah, that's only because of fan leaks. But still, it's fun. He's magic Jesus, time Jesus. It's like time cop.
Yeah.
I'm here, and he was ready to.
Should we even be surprised? Like he literally got hit a critical hit, and in front of Patri, just completely reversed.
Well, he also, I mean, that was the thing too. Like he was about, like we already knew his magic centered around stockpiling up time.
Yeah, and he quite literally said to Patri, "I've seen the future. You cannot kill me."
Well, no, he definitely wasn't sure whether or not he was gonna come back to life because he noted that, like, that's why he gave that whole speech, like he was gonna die. So he's like, he had no way to test it. He's like, oh, I developed this technique where maybe if I die, if it works, then I'm gonna come back to life. He's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna test this, so I need someone to kill me. I'm just gonna stand here. It's like, no, that's because then also you lose all the time that you stored up too. It's like, yeah, last ditch effort. And yeah, we already knew that he could affect his own body with time magic, so it was just like. Everything falls into place. You can, like, complain, like, I would have preferred this to happen, but it makes sense, this story. It was all planned out. Like, clearly Tabata knew what he was doing.
It wasn't, like, out of left field or anything. It was justified.
Yeah, I mean, it was... yeah, people... I think a lot of people just want to shit on Black Clover because it's getting more popular every week.
Let's be honest, like, a lot of people don't realize, like, One Piece was pretty trash until Eni's lobby. Like, that's when...
I don't know about that.
Blew up in popularity.
I don't know about that. Like listen, I'm one to give, like, I give One Piece so much shit, but, like, Alabasta to like Marineford was great. Get out of here.
Well,
Alabasta
Marineford was way later than 300.
Yeah, but
chapters.
Alabasta, Skypia,
Alabasta
those
was
are
like
both
250 chapters in.
I mean, it's still like
a lot of,
I don't think it was that
of hate
much.
during
I think it was
Skypiea.
like
Some people
100
hated
something.
Skypiea when it was going on.
I don't know why people hate Skypia though. I thought it was interesting. I like to know, like the.
I'm
bad
excited.
guys.
I'm excited for Black Clover's future.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's got the
there's-
most potential.
There's a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff.
I think it's pretty good.
That's pretty sick. This is like a
How
solid.
many of you guys actually think that Asta's gonna die though?
None. Asta's not gonna die.
What'd you say, Broku?
I don't.
I said, which of you think that Asta's actually gonna die?
I think it might be cool if he dies and they go on the underworld and save him. Maybe.
I mean, if Radis, maybe if they somehow like get Radis to stand there and then he dies and it convinces him to come back to life, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he died. I don't think he's gonna die. Like I said, I think it's more like a premonition. It's more like I said this, in this manner for the end of the chapter for shock value, and then it's like revealed because everything's on break this week, and every single series that came out ended on a cliffhanger. Everything in Shonen Jump ended on a cliffhanger last week. Okay, in One Piece, Kaido and Big Mom clash. My Hero, what was it like? What happened at the very end of the My Hero Academia chapter? I don't even remember. What was it? Just like
fucking unlocked God mode and literally.
Oh yeah, he put on his.
Hands.
Yeah, he did that. Yeah. Like was it Chainsaw Man? They're revving up for a big fight. Kaisen, Satoru got stabbed. Black Clover says like, "Oh, you're gonna die." Like everything ended on a cliffhanger. Every single one ended on a cliffhanger this week, or rather last.
I think also this was the last chapter of Volume 22.
Yeah, it was all planned. Ooh, new volume cover soon.
Normally
Depending
stuff like
he wants
huge
to go with Norse
cliffhangers are
mythology.
end of Volume 22, like end of volume chapters.
Oh, unless you're Machine Man, you just do it every other chapter. Every other
Yeah,
chapter.
unless you're Hero.
Every other chapter, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna make you completely not sure what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end it with a fucking cliffhanger. That's his fucking MO. But yeah, I think it was. There's no way he's gonna die. He's the main character, and he's the most popular character in the series.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be similar.
I was gonna say,
to
if,
that whole
depending on.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's just the way that it was worded, and when Asta asks, like, right the next chapter, it's going to get explained, and it's going to be like, oh, he's not going to die unless, X happens, Y happens. Maybe it's going to be like, oh, now the demons know about you, they're going to come for you, or something like that.
If he does die, I think it's going to be somewhat like Goku, where maybe, depending on how much Tabata wants to play with Norse mythology, like, Asta will go to Valhalla and have to train there with all, like, the slain chosen warriors and stuff like that.
That'd be sick.
But it won't be like he's dead and out of the story.
Yeah,
Do you think we'll get gods eventually?
Maybe like deities.
Yeah,
like four comes into the story.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be dope.
Like Hades or either God of War Ares.
I'd rather have like
there's a lot of
or like Asta does they actually have to go to the underworld.
He just said that. Why would it be Hades? Yeah. It's all Norse. That's Greek. Come on, Sammy. I thought Euros were smart.
There is some Greek references, but there's a lot more Norse.
Yeah, is that?
Wasn't the rune also Norse mythology? The rune on
Julius's head. Rune magic is Norse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Julius's star is a rune from Norse mythology, which is the star of life. So.
People are
like stuff like that we never even noticed.
That's one of those things like, everyone thought it was like a mark of the Wizard King or something, and then we found out.
Yeah.
Honestly, Tabata feels like Tabata's just hitting us with information we don't realize for another 100 chapters.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing. He plans everything out because like a lot of the current stuff, like a lot of the current generations like stuff, especially in like a lot of the big magazines, have been really solid. Like I can't think of anything that passed the cancellation point, when they get in that area where if they're not doing too good, they're just gonna axe them. I can't think of any right now that are like bad. Like they're all.
To be honest, the afterlife is confirmed in Black Clover.
Well, there has to be something, because otherwise it's like, how does?
Because he said, "I'm gonna go ahead and be with Tessia."
Well,
I mean, like people say stuff like that when they die.
Well, yeah, but like, Radis is clearly like got some weird otherworldly magic too. There's got to be some other realm where characters go and they die. Something we don't know. Maybe they got maybe they got isekai'd, Sammy. Maybe they got isekai'd. Spin off.
I'm still.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine
everything points to Yami being an isekai character?
No, it does not. It does not.
No.
He's out fishing. He gets shipwrecked. Comes to shore on a new
You don't
island.
get no. If this was an isekai, he would have got some really bland ass. Fucking, he got a tree fell on him and he woke up and then he just had all these powers. He was a dude.
He was fishing and then
he caught him.
He wakes up. He gets probably the most coolest power you could probably get. Like
no, there's so many. What do you mean? There's so many other magics. It's not even like that is not isekai. If it was an isekai level, it'd be like, was it Ichibe from Bleach? It'd be like Ichibe from Bleach, where it's like, oh, it's not dark magic. My magic controls things that are black, and it's like some absurd like. You need to have a wiki.
And then he unlocks dimensions. I was like, what?
Yeah, dimension slash. Like every single character has a hack spell. All of them have like at least one broken power. Like again, fucking Vanessa had string magic, and then she can manipulate fate and shit. Like every single person in Black Clover like ended up getting
I think that only
broken
works with people close to her.
It's automatic and it's
that's how he balances.
But like, look at
everybody only works stuff close to him. Radis' only works.
It's also a huge it's also a huge drain on her. Like it's a heavy cost. But like everybody has something broken in Black Clover. They all have one broken spell. He's not. I'm waiting for
Charmy's what Charmy's thing is.
Her thing is she can eat magic and buff herself. What do you mean? She's already broken. Charmy.
Yeah, but she must have a weakness.
Yeah, her weakness is you beat her before she gets in that goddamn form.
There could be stuff that she can't eat. Like, we don't know how that interaction will go between
that's true as well.
And the wolf eating thing.
Yeah.
Sammy, I'll tell you this right now.
It's like a big problem with people.
There will be a 2-hour rant video if it turns out Yami's a fucking isekai character.
Oh, last thing. Do you think Ass is gonna do 3 sword style now?
No. Please no.
I like Zoro.
No, no, thank you. Well, no, Zoro's gonna go 4th style. He's gonna keep a new sword in his ass. I'm waiting for it. 4th style.
No, what would you do if Asta actually does 3 sword style?
Where is he gonna? You gonna hold it in his foot?
Asta's definitely strong enough.
Is he gonna be Darth Maul? He's just got double-sided. He's gonna get some tape and tape the back end.
He needs bigger hands for that.
Yeah. He'll have one on his back and then he'll just kind of spin. He's like a Beyblade already.
Maybe he'll use his anti-magic like Black Whip, like Deku, and then he'll have that hold the 3rd sword.
Oh god.
No, he just puts it in his mouth.
Avatar Deku.
Oh, I don't want that.
No. He doesn't need to just become Zoro. You think that whenever he gets a new sword, he's gonna learn how to like hold them all at once? Is he Killer Bee?
Or maybe his wings can hold it?
No, please no.
Because it's been foreshadowed Licked had 5.
Yeah, but why is he gonna hold all of them at once? I mean, that'd be weird.
I don't know.
I mean, if he has
he's
dual wheel. He's not tri-wheeling.
Oh yeah, it was
There's
it was foreshadowed Licked had 5.
When it was originally shown when the Witch Queen originally talked about it, there was the 2 swords he already had, and then 3 like embedded into the ground.
3 swords were behind him. This is something the anime skipped for some reason.
Well, the anime
didn't show the
Asta's gonna have I'm telling you right now, Asta's gonna get a 6th sword. I was gonna get his custom sword. I bet money.
Katana.
He's please
no.
Magic
katana.
It was around chapter like 90 something.
No, he's gonna get. Austin needs like a custom. He needs to get something like anytime he hits a sword, he absorbs it and it like buffs him physically, and then that's like the perfect Asta sword. He just gets physically.
I think it's actually Black Clover chapter 101.
So I mean, a good point. Yeah, let's just make him General Grievous. They'll just give it. Sally will make him robot arms, and then he'll just he'll just become General Grievous. But then he's gonna get shot and die.
Or like his swords could float around him, like all like Kingdom Hearts style.
That'd be cool, but it'd be like, I feel like that'd be so weird if like every single time it's like, well, Asta's got a new sword. I guess he's gonna add that to quad wield and then what is it, penta wield?
Yo, here, Broku, if you check the Discord chat.
That'd be so silly. I don't know if I want that. Yeah, see, there was
Lick's holding 2 swords, and then there's 3 behind him.
If those, the one that is on the right, the really thin one, that looks like the one that was shown in the anime when he stopped Tetsuya's wind magic, because that one was super thin.
Yeah. You're right.
So I wonder where the other swords are at.
It'll probably be some like little tiny sword. Well, yeah, I wonder what that will do.
Then we got introduced
to
one in this arc, so there's 2 missing.
It was like stabbed right in the ground before Lick even got up. I didn't notice that the first time I read that chapter.
I actually didn't notice that sword was really thin until the anime showed it, and I was like,
oh yeah,
that sword is super thin.
Super thin. Little fella. Asa wields the hell out of it now. I still like the first one the most.
Oh yeah, by far the first one is so dope.
It's big. It also doubles as a shield. It's so goddamn useful. The second one is too OP. Like he shouldn't have got that. I feel like
magic.
I think
It will be OP as shit.
Yeah, that's like it's like the most. Well, it's also one that like it's the most boss character one. Like when that'll be like his like main sword when he becomes like Wizard King. Because then he could like link people together.
For Black
The
Divider.
third one's pretty OP as well.
Yeah, it's a little range status one. Yeah, Black Divider. I'm wondering if they're all gonna if Black Divider will be exclusive to the main one, or if he's gonna be able.
Because I think it's the biggest. I think it's the biggest. I think Black Divider might be exclusive.
Well, it would look weird on the Demon Destroyer sword because of the way it's shaped. I think it fits just the way that the Demon Beheading sword just looks, or the Demon Slayer sword. But yeah, we're getting there. We got off topic from the whole like title of this stream like an hour ago.
Well,
I clicked over to the video and forgot we were even talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about like the trial. I think it's because
we
like,
kind of
we
covered enough as much as we could.
Like William, I mean, from a personal standpoint, it's like you can kind of like look at it justifiably, but at the end of the day, he was a part of their military and he broke all these rules. I mean, high treason alone is like pretty big.
Actually, Sakura is foreshadowed in this chapter as well. Normal humans cannot handle such forbidden magic.
Well, yeah, that's why she's all little bird lady. She gonna stick around? She gonna switch between birds?
Do you think she can switch between forms?
Oh, people. There was some people talking about like it was speculated at least that that Nero was a girl back on that picture where Nasta. Do you remember that one that was like in front of a chalkboard and it had all the chicks in his harem and Nero was there?
Yeah, also, why is she a Pokemon? Like, I'm pretty sure Swallow...
Why is she a Pokemon? You talking about Talo. You're talking about Talo. And Swellow. Come on.
Yeah, but her name's Swallowtail, isn't it? Swallowtail?
No, it's Talo and Swellow. It's the Pokemans. That's from it's Gen 3. Come on, Sammy. It's like the best Pokemon gen. Is Sakura gonna... You guys think Sakura's gonna stick around or what?
Sakura, yeah, definitely. She's staying with Asta.
I feel like she's too broken to just be walking around because she can literally seal up like damage and stuff. That's gonna be dangerous. Like, if you read Toriko, you know what's gonna happen if somebody can undo that. Oh, poor Jiro.
I think she'll be useful in the Diamond Kingdom for undoing the magic that's in the stones.
Well, she have to get them off their body. But yeah, that's the thing. I think she's too OP. I think she's gonna have to. I'm wondering if she can stay in that form all the time. Or if it's kind of like Charmy's thing.
Yeah, I feel really bad for her though. Like her and Lumiere were such a big ship.
Sammy, not everyone needs to be a ship.
Yeah, have you seen the fucking Dojin community?
No,
Patri and William
I do not. I don't follow the Dojin. Sammy,
what do you think of that?
God damn it! I forgot Sammy was super into shipping.
No, because like you know how I think this was only in the bad translation. Though. William holds Patri and goes to be able to finally touch you.
Yeah, they're buddies. They're homies. They're not like
He's been sharing a brain with the person.
Yeah,
so long.
They're not like
a real experience.
That would be such a mind twist. It's like, well, you were already inside of me once. You might as well just keep it a trend. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't think they're gay. Like, no.
Oh my god.
Please let Sakura join the Black.
That would be.
Yeah, I think she definitely will.
Sakura, as long as she doesn't, nerf, she has to be a bird X amount of times. My only problem is that her magic seems too OP. When she's able to seal damage, it's just like I feel like that's broken as hell.
She might actually go work with the new Wizard King. Like they're actually now the same age.
Maybe she might. She might.
Like
just
with Julius. With Julius.
Well,
yeah,
Julius isn't going to be Wizard King again. He already noted. Like
but she might be Julius's assistant now.
I mean, he doesn't need an assistant. He's probably going to join the Black Bulls.
You think?
Well, yeah. Yami looked up to him as this role model, and now he can look up to Yami as a role model.
But it would make sense for him to stay around whoever whoever becomes the new king to help them out instead of going goofing off with the Black.
Yeah, I think Sakura might join.
Oh no way! Like, keep in mind, he's not tied down to Wizard King anymore. He can go on adventures and see new magic. He's gonna exploit the shit out of that. He's gonna be like,
yourself then, and not even.
that's gonna be secretly. It's like we have to go tackle these kingdoms in order to prevent them from doing these things, and then secretly in the back of his mind, it's like,
Honestly,
I'm
might
gonna see
just take
so
a
many
break,
goddamn
go on
magics.
holiday.
He just says he's relaxing. He's like, all right, you guys do this shit.
Do you think Mary Leona is staying?
That's one of the reasons I think that Fuego Leona is going to become captain, or become Wizard King, because then Mary Leona can stay captain. Because if Nozel becomes,
I don't think she's gonna stay.
She might leave because maybe it's like, oh, I'm gonna go train again, but
she might need to stay.
Yeah.
How messed up the kingdom is, she might need to stay.
Yeah, and plus I think
really
that would
wanted
be.
to stay. Like, she's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Mary Leona. She's fucking bae, but fucking what's it? Because like if Fuego Leon becomes Wizard King, then Mary Leona could stay captain. But if Nozo becomes Wizard King, then like who's gonna lead the Silver Eagles? They don't have a leader at that point. Like, have Nebra? No. Camp solid. Noelle's strong, but I don't think she's captain material yet. She's got to be eventually.
It would just be weird to bring in, like, a random character again.
Yeah. With Kaiser, it was kind of like, okay, but, like, obviously, like, the Purple Orcs weren't important. We knew about Mary Leona's existence before she showed up. We knew they had a sister. But we didn't. We can't just bring in another character and be like, hey, I'm another captain-level character that's just here. We already have them all established, unless we do a time skip.
The Black Bulls is vice captain.
Oh yeah, but we don't know anything about the Black Bulls vice captain. We don't even the only thing that we have potentially that this character even exists is in chapter 2, the silhouette. There's only one character in there that was never that hasn't been revealed. I mean, it could easily be like, yeah, they've been on a spy mission for the other kingdoms this whole time, and be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, they don't talk about them because it could do something to the mission, but they can't just have like another captain level person in the Silver Eagles that wasn't in. Especially now, it's like, where were you during this whole big battle? Were you off in the other kingdom?
The battle took place over like a day,
2 days.
Yeah, but they called back. They called back a bunch. We got like Kaiser and Mary Leona both got called back once some shit happened. Like I feel like they would.
He might be like just far away.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of weird to bring in some other like, hey, I'm another captain. I'm gonna become the captain of the Silver Eagles. I think it'll stay Nozel because we already have like perfect. Otherwise, you have to have Mary Leona leave, and Mary Leona's like a fan favorite. She's like a super big.
One thing that might happen, she might leave with Julius.
Mary Leona, I just don't see Mary Leona leaving. I feel like she's way too liked as a character, and she's too fun. Like getting rid of her would be like if we got rid of Yami. It'd be like he's too much of an enjoyed character to like not do anything for Narc anymore. Because she's like what, top 7? She got like 7th in the last poll. Like she's still really popular, something like top 10. She's like a pretty big deal. It'd be kind of weird just to write her out for a while. True. Plus, like again, like if Nozel became Wizard King, like who's gonna lead the Silver Eagles? And it'd be kind of weird. It seems it'd be like it seems kind of illogical to be like, I'm gonna bring in a new character instead of using what I already have established, already have set up. That would make more sense. And like I said, like the second Fuego Leon learns Spirit Dive, like he's gonna jump ahead of every other captain. He's gonna become so strong, and he's gonna be this fucking. He's gonna be a dragon lion of like super fire, just like being the guard point. He's pretty much what he's gonna turn into the king from Dark Souls 1. He's gonna be just some spooky fire guy just hanging out. I can see it. It'll happen. Looking forward to it. I'm so hyped. Yeah, I'm super hyped up just because, like, who knows what's going to happen in this next arc. Just the setup, getting other kingdoms and stuff. It's like the Diamond Kingdom as well are... someone asked if expecting a time skip. I'm expecting, like, a small time skip. I don't think a couple months,
yeah, I'm actually expecting a time skip. I think they're going to come back and they're going to be, like, 17 or 16.
I think it'll be a couple months.
I think a year at the most.
Yeah, because it's... I'm kind of hoping that the series is kind of like Kingdom in the aspect it's like, here, this has all been like Asta, like rookie years. Maybe, because like the thing with like the vice captain of the Black Bulls, we haven't got note of them. We have potential that there's some more, but we could easily say that like, they just don't have a vice captain. Like Yami never picked one.
Expecting we maybe come Asta back at the time skip, Leopold's the vice captain.
That'd be sick. No, but like, Leopold just needs to get some freaking spotlight already. He's gotten a couple of little bits, but he hasn't got like his own serious thing.
Yeah, he had a really good spotlight this arc.
But yeah, but like imagine like, time skip. We never got a Black Bulls vice captain. We don't know if they actually exist. or if it's like a setup, maybe like it could be Asta could become the Black Bulls vice captain after do a time skip. He's vice captain, and then the point between this part and the next big time skip maybe becomes captain, and then it's road to Wizard King. I'm really hoping it goes like I said, more like Kingdom and not like Naruto, where it's like skips over all the in between. Obviously, that was part of Naruto Genin, and then just jumps to Hokage for keep that gap. I want to see Captain Asta so bad. I want to see, early 20s Asta, and he's just leading his own crew. That'll be so cool to see him with his own leadership position and his own little squad. I need it. I need it to happen.
That, yeah, I really do feel like they're going to do that, where they just skip. That's what I feel like it's going to happen.
I'm hoping so. It'll just bug the crap out of me. It's like, oh, Asta, 500, 600 chapters in, Asta's, he's still foot soldier. He's still lower rank, and then it's like the last arc. It's like, well, I'm Wizard King now. It's like, please no.
Screw that.
The whole progression system in Black Clover works different because you get stars for like all the missions you do as long as you do them.
Yeah, well, those are like points and stuff. Although like vice captain, I imagine like vice captain, like the captain picks, because captain gets picked by, Wizard King and stuff, or voted in. I remember it being a little bit kind of gone over, but I imagine that vice captain though the captains get to pick, and like who else? There's other candidates that Yami could pick, but Asta I think is still like primary pick especially after he's literally the one that finishing blow it on the demon.
He did also happen to have the right tools for the job.
Yeah, he's a super useful dude. Obviously, he's got a lot of potential. I mean, in his I almost said spirit dive. In his black form, he's definitely the second strongest of the Black Bulls. And we don't know how long he can hold it now, because he had like 2 different like scenes actually 3, where he just kind of limit breaked a little bit. We had the first time when he went beyond using it 2 times in a day, and then like that kind of plus form with when him and like further push their power of forms, and then he created Black Divider. So like he can probably use it for a lot longer now. Probably can like sustain the form for a lot longer. Maybe a couple techniques. I can't wait to see. I'm hoping that Asta's thing is just he keeps making the Black Divider bigger. And it'd be like Julius, it's like Julius's thing. It's like, yeah, he's a time mage, he's super broken. And then it's like, oh, well, it's Foigle Leon. It's like, yeah, he's a crazy OP dragon salamander spirit mage. And then it's like, oh, Asta. And you're just like, you're getting ready to invade the Clover Kingdom, and you just see from the capital, you see this black sword falling all the way to the border, and just like about to drop, and you're like, never mind, I'm going home. Screw this, and then it just lifted back up. That would be so sick. It'd just be such a crazy thing. He's like also like swinging and like cutting up mountains.
One
and
of
stuff.
the last things I want to say, because I do actually have to go soon. How many spells does Asta now have?
He's got
2, right?
Bull Thrust,
Black Hurricane, Black Divider, Black Meteor.
Well, he's got his are like more of techniques, because he's
I feel like Black Divider is really the only like the one that's closest to a spell. The other one's
he called it. Really? Didn't he call it like pretty much kind of like say it out like an anti-magic was? Did he call it?
Yeah, it was like formatted. It was formatted exactly like spells are formatted, but
you could count Black Hurricane and Black
techniques, I believe.
Yeah, if you count it like that, if you count techniques too, he's also got 1-horned and 2-horned Bull Thrust, Black Meteorite, Black Hurricane, Black Divider. Does he have any others? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
No,
and if you count as anti-magic form, that's another one. I'm just looking up right now. I remember. Yeah, it was anti-magic. All right. Yeah, we've been going for like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah, I think we discussed
2
a lot
hours.
of things we needed to. But I do just want to say before we go, we should do this.
We've been talking about it. Do a
like chapter 220.
I mean, I feel like
chapter 220, 250, like have like every,
something like that, or maybe once a month we just have a little wrap up stream.
Get more Black Clover YouTubers.
Yeah, just have a squad.
Let's do it.
That's the thing. Like, there aren't a lot. Like, Black Clover's getting, still on the hype train, still building up. After everyone like tried to shit on it for so long, and then they actually watched some of the anime, and it was like, oh shit. And then now it's the Tokyo TV's fourth highest profiting and selling animes for like 2 straight years. Yeah,
Really?
Black Clover is so popular on Facebook.
Yeah, it's
like every time
exploded.
I see a clip shared by Crunchyroll, it's like at least 500,000 to 1 million views. every clip they share.
Oh yeah, it's
Like, holy crap.
it's anime. It's anime. I think in the last 2 years, the only things that have beaten it in profit and sales, it's like the top 5. I think the last 2 years, it's been like Dragon Ball, Black Clover, Yu-Gi-Oh, Boruto, and Naruto. Yeah, I think that's been it for the last 2 years. And Black Clover, especially as a year-round series too, that's so young, and it's crushing numbers. So
it's also doing good in sales. But other than that, guys, it's been awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You guys.
Well, let's wrap it up, and then we can plan We can plan for the next stream. Other series we talk about as push the agenda for like Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. Fucking read those.
Shut up.
Sammy, quit. Just because there's no crazy ships, read them. Chainsaw Man is.
Yo, Spy X Family. Let's push the Spy X Family agenda.
Sammy, you're dropping on Chainsaw Man. You want me to read about lowly telepaths? God damn it, Sammy.
Dude, lolly telepath, mother assassin, and
Chainsaw Man. The dude has chainsaws coming out of his forehead and his arms. It's so crazy.
Dude, Rax, you need to read Spy X Family.
Dude, you need to fucking read Chainsaw Man. Jujutsu Kaisen is blowing up in Japan. It's been winning awards like every other week. I think they just had a crowdfunding event, and in like a month it made like 5 times more than its goal. And
yeah, I'll probably get an anime soon.
Oh, it'll get animated the next year, so it's been blowing up. It's been crushing sales too. That and Chainsaw Man have both sold out in pre-orders like every month.
It's been awesome meeting you.
Well, I was gonna say like if you guys want to shill your channel real quick before I end it.
Yeah, thanks for meeting you guys. Broku, awesome, and Quan. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys.
I see you.
I go toilet. Peace.
If you guys want to say, give a little shout out to your channels. I know obviously Sammy and Broku have some pretty sizable channels. Quan though, you're growing, you're getting there. So you could shout out, probably get you some subs from all this. You got more. At least you got more followers than me on Twitter.
Rax and Quan.
Yeah, and check out Broku's videos too. I remember someone.
Definitely thanks Rax for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll talk about more. Maybe next time we'll have that that debate on Twitter, One Piece debate. I dealt with that for 4 days. 4 days, One Piece fans were coming after me. Yeah, it was 4. No, it wasn't just that. Well, it started out. I can't remember entirely. It was like a post, and then someone was trying to make fun of my avatar, and then I was like, you want to say something? And then they just started like shitting on Fairy Tail. And I was like, all right, let's fucking go. But it didn't start with me saying anything about One Piece. It was like they said like nobody in Fairy Tail dies, and I named characters that died. And they're like, oh, look. This many chapters, and only this many characters dies. I'm like, yeah, good guy characters don't generally die that much in mainstream shonen. Like, One Piece is almost at 1,000 chapters, and like, Ace and Whitebeard have like died. Like, everything else is like bad guys and like miscellaneous characters.
So there was just like a side argument.
And then and then it just divulged. It just kept getting worse and worse. It got bad, and then finally it ended like right as my weekend started. But that was a wild time. It was fun. Eventually, we'll do some more debate streams. I'm always up to argue with people. So it's a long pastime.
Yeah, I'll do more.
I was actually happy. During this,
I got a bounce now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Check out Quancredible, Broku no Hero, and SGSami on their YouTube channels. Well, yeah, we'll try and do this more, probably like once a month or so, and then maybe have some other groups to come talk about other series and whatnot. But other than that, yeah, it was a good stream, good 2 hours, actually good time. Luckily this stream I didn't have to read the chat, so it didn't turn like an 1.5-hour stream into a 4-hour stream because I just rant about shit. Luckily there was other people to keep me from doing that. But other than that, thank you guys, and we'll plan out the next stream. We didn't do the best job of advertising this beforehand, but yeah. Sammy and his Euro schedule, but... Yeah, thanks everybody, and appreciate you guys coming on, talking. We'll find some new controversial thing to talk about on Black Clover or something. Well, next time it'll be like, who is Asa's most optimal waifu character? And it'll just be like people screaming. The truest rage war of anime nerds. It's who's best girl.
Undiscernible chatter about who.
Yeah, it's just opinionated screamings. It's just, God damn it! Other than that, yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. Bye.